Mike, what's going on?
I was worried I wasn't going to look at myself the whole time. I was like, what's the point?
I haven't talked to you in a while. How you been?
Good, man. Same old stuff.
Are we still
Getting
friends?
better. Yeah, I guess. Fuck. Call it that. Anyway.
I'm feeling I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Distant.
Neglected.
Feeling neglected. Yes, neglected. That's the word I'm looking for. You've been
that's
so
what my girlfriend. That's what my girlfriend says all the time.
It sound like your sound like your girlfriend. You've been at work all the time. We're not talking anymore.
You changed, man. You changed.
What's going on,
You
man?
used to ask me how my day was.
How you been? What's going on? How's the shoulder? Good?
Yeah, it's feeling good. You can do a front double for the first time.
Oh,
in 10 years.
Arms all the way up. That's great.
That's literally the first time that's been possible in over a decade.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome, man. Good for you. Is there
Sometimes I just walk around like this, like everywhere I go.
Just because you can.
Do this. Not impressive, but look what I can do.
Look what I can do. Yeah. Is there any strain in doing that at all, or is it completely comfortable now?
No, the only issue I've had is my rear, like my front delt where they cut into me is pretty sore on and off. So
yeah.
But it's just because it's like so deep, right? It's gotta heal. So different stuff irritates it, but it's more of like a muscle soreness or like a uneasiness feeling, not like a pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when something hasn't worked in a while or done something, it's like your body wants to be like, fuck that, stop doing that. But gotta make it. So
yeah. Are you excited about the Olympia?
Yeah, I'm making my comeback there. Now that I can hit a front double.
Sorry, I should probably tell people what I'm talking about. So Mike, is this your first booth? Hi Paul, how are you?
Good. How are you doing? Hey Mike.
Good, man.
Mike, is this your first booth at a show or no?
Yeah. Well, my first solo booth, yeah.
That's a big fucking deal, man. Are you excited to have your first like Wycked booth?
Yeah, it's cool. I'm looking forward to it. I don't really know what to expect, right? So I'm just going there to just hang out and have fun. You guys come around and other people I want to see you come around and hopefully sell some stuff and just hang out and have a good time. I just want the booth to be like some place where like people I fuck with can just come hang out. Like it's not like I don't like the idea of a booth where it's like, oh, you're here between these times and that time. And you like, it's just like, I don't know, just come and hang out. If I'm there, I'm there. If I'm not, I'm probably walking around or like just have a place to stop in and just chill out. Because it seems like the booths nowadays are so like manufactured and like, especially like, it just seems like they seem like so forced.
Hey,
like walk up, take your picture.
I had a booth. What are you talking about?
No, but like the walk up, take a picture, get the fuck out of here type booths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that shit. I don't want to do that. I don't.
But this is the thing. And sorry, hi Ian, how are you?
Hi.
I just ran here.
Guy looks like
just got the track.
Marathon today, guys.
No, I kind of know what you mean, Mike, but it's like a kind of a catch-22. So at our booth last year at the Olympia, we set up the podcast, which was really awesome because you get to like meet people.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing your guys' booth. It was cool because but it seemed like it was more inviting. Do you know what I mean? Like it seemed like you guys were like just there. It wasn't
having
like
fun.
Oh, line up to hang out with Fouad. Like,
but the problem to see the catch-22 part is, so I liked it because I got to meet everybody and talk to them for like 5-10 minutes for the people that waited for the podcast line. But then it's like you don't really get to meet everybody unless you have a line that keeps moving. So it's like you're kind of stuck trying to figure out like, do I meet everyone or do I meet a handful of people for a more significant amount of time? And I think that's the tricky part that you're trying to like walk that line, right?
Yeah.
So how is your
for me?
Sorry.
It's more like it's weird for me because like you guys I think know me pretty good. Like I just don't have like my ego isn't like it's hard for me to like think about people lining up to meet me type thing. It's odd for me. So it's like I don't know how to handle that or like how to do it. So I think the most comfortable thing I'd be comfortable with is like, yeah, I'm sure we'll have that kind of thing. But like once that's kind of whatever, let's just be around. Because I don't fucking like saying like, hey, come on up, I'm ready now. Like fucking
no, I get
Santa at Christmas time, like sit on my knee and fucking
no. Listen, I understand that too because I felt the same way. Like we had no expectations of the podcast, how long the line was going to be or anything. Cause I don't think like I'm a big deal or that whatever is a big deal. So I'm like, whatever, let's just do it and see what happens. But then you see what happens and you're like, okay, well, all of the people that didn't wait in line for the podcast didn't get a chance to meet me or Justin or Paul or whoever was or Ben or whoever was in the podcast room at that time. So I'm like, now what do we do? Because now I feel like those people got left out. So like you're stuck with this, like,
Well, you came out and talked to everybody.
well, from time to time, but for like 80% of the time I was stuck in the booth.
Yeah, but you did what you could. At least you at least thanked everyone for being there and everything. And
Yeah. No, that's true. All I'm trying to say is like when you're designing a booth, because like I just talked to the Arnold people this year and we're getting a big booth for the Arnold. So it's like when you're designing a booth, you're trying to think of like making it, like Mike said, like inviting where people can come hang out, but also you're not left with like a bunch of people that didn't get a chance to meet everybody.
I remember one of the years at the Olympia when I was with ANS still, and we got stuck next to Bradley Martin had a booth.
I remember that. I came and saw you that year.
Yeah, you came and saw him. And his booth, and he had so big of a line, it completely covered the entire ANS booth. We had literally no one come to the booth because you couldn't even find it. It was like this colossus of people just waiting to see Bradley Martin, so no one could get to our booth. And they like complained. They're like, sorry, there's nothing we can do, you know?
Yeah, but some companies like that because they get a chance to market to the people waiting in line for the next guy.
Yeah. Give you free stuff, whatever, while you're in line.
So like all those people waiting in front of ANS, they should have been like, here's some samples.
Yeah.
Well, we were trying to do that, but they were also like actually selling product there, and those people wouldn't get out of line, obviously, you know?
Yeah. Mike, what does your booth setup look like? Are you involved in any of that or no?
Yeah, it's going to be, well, I won't say the car because I don't want to give it away, but there's going to be a car there. Just basically like the front end of the booth. It's an island, so the front end is like tables and set up for merch.
Yeah,
I designed like 4 or 5 new designs for just the Olympia that'll just be available at the Olympia, and then there'll be probably 5 or 6 like older stuff that's popular that'll be available again that hasn't been available for a while.
Yeah, that's a good
idea.
And
then so one side of the car will be there, and then there'll be kind of like a lounge, and then kind of where the car is and where the lounge and seating area is where people can come in and do like meet and greet type stuff or just hang out or
so is
whatever.
it like,
but the car is going to be the focal point of the booth because the car is going to have like a Wycked, like our logo wrapped on the car.
Yeah,
it's an old classic car. It's not like a new car. So
yeah.
Kind of like a muscle car.
Can I sit in the car?
Sure, you can fire it up if you want.
All right,
just blast exhaust into people's faces.
No, so is the booth like, because I remember last year across from our booth was the Dark Sport. Is it Dark Sport?
Yeah.
There's a Dark Sport booth.
Tables.
And they had like, they basically built an entire room. Like
it's not like that.
It was all closed in. So you don't have that.
No, we don't do that shit. We're not dorks.
Listen, I'm not trying to promote Dark Sport, but it was a cool booth. It was cool. Like they built like their own fucking room. Like it was like
pool tables in there.
And they had pool tables in there and like couches and shit. I'm like, this is pretty fucking sweet.
It was pretty cool.
So the island is like the main part of your merch set up in the middle, and you can go on either side of it, or is it like one side?
No, it's just on one end is the
main,
like, because there's going to be a tower in the middle. We're trying to see how high we can get it. Right now it's like 15 feet.
Yeah,
we're trying to get it to be 20.
Yeah,
it's going to have 4 monitors on it playing video content and like a W glow like off the top.
That's awesome.
So it'll be kind of be kind of the center point, and then each side of that will be the, like I said, the sales, and then on the other side will be the car and like the meet and greet.
Yeah,
but we're right across from Celsius, so we'll probably get a lot of runoff from Celsius because they usually have a pretty popular fucking booth.
Yeah, I can't remember what the fuck. I remember, I probably shouldn't say the number, but they told me what they spent. They didn't tell me, but the Arnold guys told me what they spent on their booth, and it was just fucking astronomical. I'm like, but it looked like
we got the money.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to go hang out. What's my time limit there? Am I allowed to stay there all day?
No, you have 1 hour. For 1 hour. We're scheduling time slots right now.
Okay, so Mike's at a booth. We're all gonna fucking hang out there. I'll see if Sam wants to come. I know Sam likes shit like that too. So see if Sam wants to come hang out.
We'll hide him. We'll hide him from. Give him a break from the madness.
Yeah.
I'm honestly so excited to just be at the Olympia as a fucking fan, man. Like I haven't done this in a long time. I'm so excited, you know.
Do you think you're gonna get there and sit there and watch and be like, fuck, I should have been up there?
No.
For real. You're not gonna have any like,
Oh, sure. Probably be something I'd be like, that would have been cool to get up there, but not enough that I would have still wanted to do it. But obviously when I watch it and see these guys and be like, oh, that's fucking sick, because I love bodybuilding and know that my body is still capable of doing that. Right. But I'm still way more excited to do other shit, and I'm still more excited to be there as a fan and a spectator and to like support Chris like as a brother. Like every year, I haven't watched Chris on stage since 2019 because like our conflicting schedules. So I literally haven't even seen him actually compete in 5 years, you know? So I can actually sit in the audience, I can get backstage, hang out with him. Like, man, just to be part of that, like just as a friend and supporter is fucking way more sick for me, you know?
Hey, does Raw have a booth or anything there?
We do, yeah.
Are you going to be at the booth, at their booth? Or
I'll be there for a bit on the days, yeah.
Okay. So Paul, me and you were going to invade Mike's booth.
Well, I'm going to go I'm invading Mike's booth too, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty partners in crime all weekend, Fouad.
I need Ian and Mike to help me give Paul shit. He's trying to skip the weekend next weekend.
Well, you guys are gonna shame me into it, eh?
Oh,
well, here's my situation though.
We're totally gonna
because I have a wedding that weekend.
Doesn't matter.
People get married all the time, man.
They're not even my friends, Mike. They're my wife's friends.
They're gonna be divorced.
Exactly.
Exactly. The marriage ain't gonna work.
Doomed.
No, are you guys just going for 1 day or is it 2 days?
2, probably.
2? It's like till Wednesday?
Wednesday morning we drive back. I drive back.
Yeah, I'm the first or the third, whatever that is.
Third's the Wednesday.
So I'd have to fly from Toronto.
The third is Tuesday, sorry.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to fly from Toronto. I told you I'll pick you up in Toronto and we'll drive to fucking Columbus.
Okay. All right.
Twist my arm.
I can pick you up. I can pick you up in Columbus Sunday morning.
Toronto.
Or sorry, from Toronto, and we'll drive from Toronto to Columbus. We'll hang out for a couple of days, and we'll drive home.
I'm flying from Florida.
Okay. All right. I'll do it.
Ian's already booked his tickets. You can't.
I know he did. I know. Yeah, I know.
I'm booked and ready to go. Yeah.
You know what I love
this trip? This is to go at you because Mike, you got a podcast at Dave Tate's, right?
Yeah.
Mike's got a podcast, and I'm gonna. We got some new clothing coming out that I want to shoot Sam in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do a photo shoot with Sam, and then I don't know.
I DM'd Sam, but obviously he's way too fucking cool and popular to see my DM. So
fucking ghosted me.
I'm probably like in his like message request like third box over. You know, you got to ask him if he'll eat one of those chips with me.
Oh, you see, I saw that video you sent me of Shaq.
I feel like Sam might do it.
He's pretty chill. I don't know if he'll do it. I think he'll do it. Yeah. Let me see if I can bring that video.
See Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder ate one too.
Really?
Like, and all it was just zoomed on him the whole time, like in a white room, and he just like
it fucked him up.
Apparently, the after effect is the worst. Like, it lasts for a while.
I had a lot. When I posted on my story, I had a lot of people give me like insights if they'd done it, and it was such a range to people like, don't do it, man. It fucked me up for 3 days, and I fucking shit my blood, blood out my ass for a fucking month. And then I also had some people be like, it's bad, but like you'll be fine, you know. And I had a few people send me videos of them eating it, like Nader Halebi, you know Nader.
No.
Yeah, he's a Canadian bodybuilder. He's like a chef and shit. He sent me a video of him doing it.
All right, so
this is Shaq. Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah,
I'm probably gonna have to cut this out, but just in case I don't. So this is the chip that Ian's going to eat for views. Anything for views.
All for the views.
And apparently it is death.
The NBA. The NBA. Let's see it. Whoa.
Is Shaq the only one that eats it?
$20, I'll buy the chip, won't even make a face.
I love Shaq.
Without making a face.
He's already making a face.
Oh, don't drink the water. That's the mistake.
That's what he says after he does take a sip.
I know what fraternity I'm in. Tell him that.
Everyone that told me is just don't drink fluids, even milk, because the water content from it will just spread it around. If you're going to do anything, eat bread or eat ice cream, but don't do any like liquids that aren't like 99% fat, you know?
Really?
Let's see here. What is fake?
Omega Psi-Phi. Till we die. It's nothing to me.
It's
that counts as a face. Ernie, I'm coughing. I know when you go.
He's getting pissed off.
He's feeling it. He's like, fuck.
His face, his eyes are fucking.
I got some milk.
That's fucking hilarious. Ian, you're gonna you're in for hell with that, man.
Apparently with the chip, like the first 5 minutes is actually not bad, but it gets like worse and worse up to like 20, 30 minutes.
How did you get talked into doing this, or was it your idea?
It was my idea. I've seen a million people do it on video. I'm like, fuck, this would be hilarious. I want to do it.
Well,
I just want to try it. Look, I know it's gonna suck, but that's like the kind of the fun of doing it, is that it kind of sucks. It's like a challenge, you know?
I thought they were pulling it off the shelves because that kid died.
Some places did pull it off, yeah.
Yeah, but
Really?
you said that. One of you said that the kid died because he had previous issues.
Well, there is no actual real science to say that like spice will kill you per se, you know? And look, thousands of people have eaten this chip and one kid died. I'm not like worried about dying from it, clearly.
Yeah.
You know?
So when you buy them, did it come in a bag, like with several in there, or what?
No, it comes in a box. It comes in a box that looks almost like the shape of like a coffin, and then inside it there's just one little bag, or like one sealed bag.
And how much
A
is
little
it?
bit of foreshadowing there. A coffee box.
$40.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it was like $84 after shipping for 2 of them.
Well, who else is doing it with you?
I'm trying to get. I want Sam to do it with me.
Oh.
I'll ask Sam if he wants to do it, but I wanted to see if you guys would do this while we were together. This is the Surstomming challenge.
Oh, this fucking gross
I'm not doing that.
shit.
Stroman fish challenge.
This is like
So
apparently this is like a tradition in Sweden, I think, or something. James turned me on to it, or Finland, or I don't remember which Scandinavian country, but apparently this is like something everybody does.
this is you are supposed to open this underwater.
It looks.
Yes.
It looks water and salt. Enormous.
Oh, fuck, I'll throw up everywhere if I smell that.
Is it fish?
I'm not
Yeah.
So just sorry, I
Is
should
it
explain.
sardines?
So it's fish, I guess, but it's like been in there forever or some shit.
This
So
says to overcome the smelliest fish in the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
right here's the description. Yeah.
Do that.
all I know is James said do not open it in a house. He's like, because the fucking
There you
smell
go.
is like impossible to get out of the house.
Oh yeah.
That guy's throwing up already.
You're missing this.
I've missed a lot. Oh God.
Guy's gonna fucking yak before we even started.
Stuck it, smell it. I'm scared to come
I was
closer.
sniffing.
Oh God.
I was sniffing that.
I will. Wait. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God.
This guy's laughing.
Oh.
Get over here then.
Oh, gross. I got a weak stomach.
Fast forward, did I ever get over?
Jack, I tried to open this.
They haven't even got it open yet. Are they even gonna fucking open it? Fuck, man. All right,
Oh my
let's-
God, just opening the can that little bit makes it smell that bad.
This is
Getting sick.
knife. I don't like. Oh, it's my. I can't even.
Oh my God, what's this?
What is that?
I can't get in it.
What is it?
Try opening a bit more.
Oh. Oh.
You're gonna
Try
clean it.
opening it.
Fish.
Oh my God, what is that?
It's fish.
That's fish?
It's
It
fish.
looks like something's trying to crawl out of the fucking
Yeah. That big guy's hilarious.
Oh.
What's on that? A beer or something?
I feel so.
Oh.
It's fermented bird.
Fermented bird?
Fermented herring.
Oh, gross.
Oh, so I bought a can of that
Oh,
because
I'm not
because
going near it.
because I told James, I said, next time we're all together, we're going to do the challenge. So I'm like, I think we should do it. I'll just buy another one. James is here.
Ooh.
Hey, who's
Have
we?
you heard of
Yeah.
people eating that balut stuff? BALUT.
No.
Google that.
What's
Oh,
it
God,
called?
where's my phone?
BALUT?
BALUT. Yeah. It's a fertilized developing egg embryo. So it's like an egg that's been actually fertilized. So there's like a little growing fucking creature in it, and people eat this.
Oh no!
Like a fetus?
Oh, the
Yeah.
egg?
How do you spell that?
Look
It's
at
like
this.
I think it's like a delicacy in like the Filipino or in the Philippines.
Yeah,
Look
there's
at
some
this.
weird Asian food.
Look at this.
Yeah, like there's like a full on like little baby fucking chicken there. You know?
Oh, that's just, I can't watch that food. I turn that off.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Keep
God.
playing it. We're good. Keep
No,
playing
I
it.
can't watch. I'm gonna turn away for a little while. That's it. No.
Oh my god!
Hate it.
Oh,
Just spit it like
gross. I
nothing.
can't watch that shit.
No.
See, some people love that shit. That's so
Oh,
gross.
Have you
I'll
ever
tell you
seen
about this one
Catfish
thing-
Cooley? Do you know
No.
who Catfish Cooley is? I just sent it to Fouad. He's this like redneck dude who like he eats like fucking 4 Reaper peppers and then
Oh yeah, I've
chugs a-
seen this guy.
chugs a bottle of Fireball.
Oh yeah. It's this. Yeah.
What's
He's
Fireball?
like fucking It's like, that like fucking hot ass liquor. It's like fucking
Oh,
it's
guys,
fucking brutal.
It's fucking. We should do the Surstomming video, and then you can do the chip video. That's what we should do. And see if Sam will do the Surstomming video if he doesn't do the chip video.
Well, that should be the next punishment for whoever loses the show.
Oh,
Why?
my-
We'll
Somebody's
do it
got to
the
do it by
same-
themselves.
We'll do it at the same
The
time.
two
then.
worst.
Him throwing up, gagging on this fish while I'm dying of spice, and we'll just do it at the same time.
We'll see if he
I would
wants to
honestly rather do the stinky fish because at least like once you eat it, it's like over with. You're not living with it for fucking 45 minutes. You know.
I don't think the challenge. I don't think the
gotta
fish
eat
challenge
it?
is eating it. I think it's just being in the room with it.
Really.
I don't know if you have to eat it. I don't think that's part of the
I
challenge.
couldn't eat that.
Well,
I mean, I
couldn't
would eat canned herring and stuff all the time, but this is obviously particularly smelly. You know.
Oof.
what is the Surstomming challenge here? Let me share it with you guys. The upshot of the rise of Surstomming challenge, where people unused to the delicacy or its characteristic smell are invited to try the food for the first time. I guess you do have to eat it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm.
Is it
what
safe?
does it taste like?
There is no danger in eating the contents.
Does anyone actually like?
Enthusiasts praise Surstomming for its great taste.
What?
Fuck that.
Imagine that. That's gonna stay in your head forever. That taste and smell.
The process of fermenting the fish creates a rotten egg smell.
Eat on a
fishy-
sandwich.
It tastes like a fishy flour, but with a sharp tang of good blue cheese. Oh,
Fishy flavor.
Even the description
God
makes you
damn
want to
it.
throw up.
Fuck.
I know.
Sounds
Again,
like sounds like someone I knew in college. Anyway.
You know what? Ian likes fucking sharp cheeses like that shit. He might like that fucking fish.
Yeah, that wouldn't. I don't think that would be. I'm sure the smell is way worse than the taste. That's for sure.
It sounds like
To
it.
me, they're one and the same to me.
So about our bets, I found the shoe I want.
You won?
I would like this shoe. Ian,
Cool.
I would like
Well, I
this-
wasn't last place.
You didn't win though.
Yeah, I did.
Who had won?
I thought that you had changed your
No, I
your
won.
picks.
No, I won.
Nope, fair square. Won it.
Let's take a look.
Huh?
Let's take a
All
look.
right. What do you mean? I have the paper right here.
I don't know if you won.
I'm telling you, Paul, I won.
I don't know if you won that one.
I have the sheet right here.
Nobody had Regan. Let me see.
Let me see.
Nobody had Regan winning.
Oh, I ripped the old one off.
Oh,
No, I only have
yeah, of course you did.
I only have
Summer
the
did
new
it
one.
probably. Eh?
I only have the new one.
Oh yeah.
I have the one from last week, but I won the Italy. So that's the shoe I want, and I think Mike got the worst. I think Mike got the worst picks there. So
I don't know.
you guys have to put in 25% each, okay, Paul?
I don't know if I trust you on this one.
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you trust me.
Facts are
irrelevant.
facts, man.
It's irrelevant. This is the show is the show, and that's it. You gotta.
I
don't
can't
know, I
remember how
didn't-
Paul looks like he's in a cubicle still. It's freaking me out.
Oh, I do.
You need
Yeah.
to change your setup.
Paul, do
man.
Paul,
You
do
know
like,
what? Yeah, I'm gonna push this one over.
Paul, do you like these?
No, not for me. No.
I think I'd like you to sign them for me because I won.
Want me to sign them? Why?
Yeah, just as a reminder
Oh,
that,
I paid for them.
that you paid for them. Yes. All right. We have our picks from last week. No, did we do this already?
What?
The
We
picks-
changed our picks from Italy to Spain.
Yeah, we did. So we have our picks from Spain. Mike
all
lost.
wrong.
Mike lost. Mike lost because Mike picked random names.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the 6 and 7 guys. Fuck.
Fouad had Tim in 5th, Theo 6th, Dennis 7th, and Jan 8th. So I was pretty wrong. All of us had Tim in 5th. And all of us, except for Mike, had Theo in 6th. Ian, you had Bruno in 7th. And Paul, you had Bruno in 8th. Ian, you had Dennis in 8th. Yeah, I don't know how. It's kind of all a mess.
Well, who had the closest top 5?
We didn't pick top 5.
We all picked the same top 5. Remember, because we picked 6 through 8. That was the bet.
Where did I put Theo?
You, Ian, and myself all put Theo in 6th.
Really?
And he ended up what?
He
Fourth?
ended up in 4th, I think.
Wasn't 4th?
No, third
no.
was Tim Budesheim,
Tim.
fourth was Theo, fifth was Roman.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Theo
Okay.
was 4th.
Okay, wait, who had Tim Budesheim placing the highest?
We all had Tim in 5th,
We all had him in fifth.
including Mike.
And then, okay, who had Theo in sixth?
Me, you, and Paul.
Okay, and then seventh, what did we have for seventh?
I had Dennis, Paul had Dennis, and you had Bruno.
Well,
Who did
I
finish?
think Bruno placed ahead of Dennis, so I think I won then.
Let's bring up the placings.
Figure it out.
I think I did win again.
You're gonna need a fucking Vegas odds maker for these bets.
Yeah,
soon.
yeah.
I'm almost positive that Bruno placed lower or higher than Dennis.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think
No,
he's
he
right.
did for sure.
Did he?
Paul doesn't believe anything. He just doesn't
Well,
want to lose.
I just want to see the facts.
Do you have the results there?
I'm
Show me
looking,
the Carfax.
I don't see. Wait, I think that's a scorecard there. Yes. Here.
I got it right here. Too.
It's right here. Let's
Dennis
see.
was 14th.
Seventh was Volodymyr. 8th was Jan Turek. I had Jan Turek in 8th.
Didn't you have Bernica up there, Fouad?
Nobody had Bernica.
Thought you did.
What place did he come in?
16th.
I had
Dark
Jan Turek in 8th. I think I'm the closest.
Wait, where did Bruno place?
Bruno, where are you?
I don't even see him on the list.
I don't know if he's in the show.
No. Oh, yeah. Bruno didn't even end up competing.
Well, then you're
Oh,
out.
so that should be a wash then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not a wash. Ian loses. Ian's second.
Well, yeah, that's kind of unfair because he was on the list before, so I can't really.
Well,
Who
you
did,
picked,
who did I have in 8th?
well, you picked Dennis 8th, and Dennis was, where was that? Dennis is right here. He's in 14th. So I was the closest. I had Jan in 8th.
Yeah, you are the closest. Yeah.
Yes. Paul, see that?
All right, Fouad. I concede.
You know what? I want two
I
pairs.
concede.
I want 2 pairs of those shoes.
No, you don't get to change the rules like that. No.
Well, I got the winnings from Spain.
You could order some socks.
I got the
Go with
winnings
it.
from Italy, right? And then I got the winnings from Spain.
Oh, you won Italy too?
Yeah, because I picked Nathan to win.
I'll be back in 2 minutes.
So I picked
Like you
Nathan
got
to
2
win.
pairs of shoes coming?
Well, yeah, I think you know what I'm going to do. I think I want those Nikes, and then I'm going to get a pair of UGG boots for the winter.
Get some UGG walking shoes.
No, no,
Thank
no.
me.
Get the boots.
I'll send you a picture of the ones that I got.
Okay. All right. We got France. We got France coming up, and
Are you saying that now?
and the Legion
Did you just say France?
Yeah.
yeah.
Because of AJ.
because of AJ. I feel like it's more sophisticated. Mike.
I was like, is he saying that on purpose or is this what the fuck's going on right now?
Trying to bring an element of class to the
Ooh, France. Have you ever been there?
show. I've been to France.
France?
I've also been to France. Alfred Chirac, I think, is doing France.
He's looking good in his pictures lately.
Oh, this is for the Chirou Classic in France. He looks shredded, but his feel like his legs still need a little bit more size. It's not even that his legs need size. He just kind of has a straight sweep.
Yeah.
But they're like big enough. They don't have a lot of roundness to them. Look how peeled he is.
Yeah.
Man, he's put on a lot of muscle in the last couple of years.
Do you have the lineup for it?
I don't think the lineup is out.
Is that this weekend?
No, I think it's next weekend. This is a Dubai show. Yeah, the France here says 2 weeks.
I imagine Theo's doing it too.
Yeah, I would assume a lot of the guys that did Spain are doing it. I think Nathan said he was doing it too.
Oh yeah.
So Nathan's probably going to be the favorite to win.
Yeah.
And then I think Charles Griffin is doing the Legion.
Oh yeah.
I think he's probably the favorite to win the Legion, unless you guys know somebody else who's better doing the Legion.
I haven't seen anybody else right yet talking about that show except for him.
I don't know any big names like bigger than Charles that are doing that show. So I think he's kind of the favorite to do that one.
Yeah.
Let's do some questions for a minute because we have a fucking ton and we never get through enough of them. By the way, Mike.
Yes.
Yesterday, yesterday was the first time anybody's made me quit in a sports setting. I fucking.
Oh yeah,
dude.
Isn't it great?
It was fucking brutal. Like we were doing 4-minute rounds or something like that, and at the end of training, he's like, "Let's just do falls, right?" So like, either falling on your back or sprawling or whatever, right? I'm like, okay, that sounds okay. So the bell rings and we start. Halfway through, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking throw up. I couldn't, because it was just like, because a sprawl is the same thing as like a burpee pretty much. So it's like, I never done shit like that before. So he's like, fucking sprawl. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like dying.
Yeah,
so I actually had to like tap for a minute, catch my breath, and then we finished the round.
Yeah, it's just look up here. You can't see the food.
And I was like, fucking, this is the hardest shit I've ever done in my life.
I was talking to someone the other day about like how I couldn't go back to playing sports I used to play, obviously because of what's happened to me. But I was thinking, like, if I ever went back to football, how fucked I'd be. Like, I'd literally take one hit and just lay there for an hour. Like,
Yeah, right.
Even if I hit the guy, I'd just hit and fall and he'd keep running. Stay in the fucking ground.
Deal with your pec right now.
What's wrong, Ian?
No, what's the deal with Paul's pec?
Oh, it's
I was just gonna get into that. Go ahead.
I went back today. Just did what I could with my left. We did like just technique stuff on the ground. So,
but they don't know what happened. So we went
sorry. So yeah, there's like how big did they say the tear was? Who had 7?
I think part of the tear was 5 centimeters, but I don't think that was the full thing.
Yeah.
So it was like 2 separate parts. It looked like.
Was that from the prior tear or this tear?
Like I think the first one that he saw was
no. The Paul, are you still there? You froze.
He's frozen in the weirdest.
Sorry, did I freeze there? I thought I did.
So they checked the old tear, but they said all the blood and shit that they could see in the new tear looked like it was 5 centimeters, but there was like another part to it also that was all kind of fresh.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead.
The
Paul.
the tendon's fine though, so that's what I was most happy about. So I don't need surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably going to look pretty deformed. Imagine with 2 pretty good tears now, but whatever. I don't really care what it looks like, but yeah,
buddy.
Yeah. It was already mangled. Now it's going to be fucking completely deformed. But
better.
Yeah, right now it does. I know it's swelling. We'll see. Yeah. But he put 2 PRP shots into it, and yeah. So and I got some stuff I got some peptides and that now to use to speed up the healing. So
yeah,
fine.
So we were there. So I did while Paul was doing his PRP, I did stem cells. So we'll see if that boosts my kidney numbers again. But while
IV?
Yeah, I did IV stem cells. Yeah. Last time I did it, my GFR went up 9 points. So that's pretty significant. So I'm going to see if I can get that same result again. I have to check in like 3 months, but I think all around it was good news because I did stem cells. His tear wasn't from the tendon, so that's good. He should be back to work in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, well, we can't rush it, Fouad.
No, but
I mean my job. I can't rush up my job. You know, the gym.
oh yeah,
doing what I can.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, I don't want to push too fast.
No, yeah, I don't want to go backwards, Mike. You know,
Let's just keep this fucking discussion down a bit, would you? Paul's on. I don't know if I can come in.
I can't even my arm right now.
I'm in so much pain.
So before we left, though, we got some interesting stuff. So we were talking to him about I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I think it was a nasal insulin spray. Have you guys heard of that?
My buddy that I tried to I introduced you to, Pat, that I train, he's invested in that. He was
really?
like he jumped in on the like the ground level of that. It's becoming huge now.
You said it's called type 3 diabetes. It's like a new medical thing that they're
it's a new medical term they made up to sell a product.
No,
yeah, you're probably right there.
No.
Sometimes you're one, sometimes you're two.
Sometimes you're three.
No. So what was explained to us was that they think dementia is partially caused by blood sugars and diabetes. So they're not certain yet, but they're calling like dementia the third type of diabetes. And what they're saying is the insulin nasal spray has nothing to do with blood sugar or your blood or anything like that. It's directly to your brain to kind of like give you mental clarity and less brain fog and like that kind of thing. So Paul tried it, but I don't know if you felt anything. I haven't tried mine yet.
You know what? I tried it again for it. So I think when I tried it in the car, like, you know how sometimes you got to kind of prime those sprayers?
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't prime it the first time in the car, so I didn't get much. So this time now it's primed and it shot, like I got like a good dose shot on my nose. It actually burns for a second.
Okay.
Which I didn't get in the car. So yeah, no, it worked well. I took some because I didn't sleep all that well last night. So this morning before work.
You're used to that burn, aren't you, buddy?
No. In my former days, Mike, a little bit, but
bring a little flashback.
Yeah, from my earlier days. But you don't get the drip. There's no drip though.
But did you get the clarity?
I did. Yeah, because I was tired this morning when I first woke up. I did not sleep well, and I was like just been I was pretty out of it.
I'm writing con about this right now. I want one of these fucking things.
I like to
this fucking guy holding out on everybody. What the fuck wrong with him?
It's called Sandtech or something like that.
I don't remember that. I didn't see
the name on the bottle.
Yeah, I didn't check. So we got that, and then we grabbed some peptides. He gave me a better understanding of like the BPC 197 and the TB 500, and we grabbed some other peptides too. So he put together a little cocktail for us. So I'm pretty excited to start that shit because it's supposed to help with recovery and all that. So
yeah, everybody's told me that it'll speed recovery like quite a bit.
So listen to this miraculous fucking thing he told me about. So you guys have heard of gene therapy, right? So apparently they're working on a thing where they can like suppress or promote, for lack of a better word, or enhance any gene in your body. So I'm like,
I like this.
Right. I'm like, can you block my myostatin? He's like,
Fouad asked him.
he's like, yes, I can. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
When am I coming back?
When am I booked? So I'm going down to Mexico December 7th to do this fucking gene therapy. So my hyper responder days are going to be even greater now. I'm going to come back fucking jacked in like a week.
You know, the edge on me.
I'm going to be like that cow, you know, that cow with the myostatin deficiency.
Yeah, like Wendy the Whippet.
No.
You know, when Google Wendy the Whippet, it's the like greyhounds. They have a myostatin deficiency. They're fucking jacked. Like,
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Don't they live short lives though? When animals that don't have that gene, myostatin.
Yeah, but
there's people who have myostatin deficiency need to not work out. Like they get too much muscle way too fast.
Yeah,
Wendy the Whippet.
That's like me. That's how I am right now.
That I know, like that is a myostatin deficient human. It's Michael Lockett.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, totally.
Remember Bob Sapp?
Looks is just like that weird look of that, you know.
Look, Paul, this is going to be me after I get my treatment.
It's going to be you and Paul.
Yeah,
right there, that comparison.
I wonder if I can get rid of my. I wonder if I can get rid of my gray hair too, Fouad. Make me youthful again.
Hey, be like, hey, can you like figure out the gray hair gene and like
and just a little bit more hair again too.
Just zap it.
Yeah.
I don't know how like legit this shit is, but you know, Dr. Khan's never steered me wrong before, so I'm gonna fucking try it out. See.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it was a good visit. good visit down to Toronto. We didn't get a chance to see Mike because we're only...
because you told me 10 minutes before you were leaving that you were leaving.
It was actually my idea, Mike. I was like, hey, why don't we see if Mike
here,
might do lunch?
Appreciate it, Paul.
Well, you know,
Why are you such a dick sucker?
I didn't mean to take the shine.
He's like, hey, Paul,
hey,
Paul. Hey, Mike.
That's why he didn't let you know till just before.
Really? Is that why?
Well,
actually, I messaged him the last time I went up as well without you. But
oh, really?
But he's got work. He's got actual work.
You work all day. Yeah.
That's why I didn't really think we should message him, because I'm like, we're only going to be there for an hour and he's working.
Yeah. And plus we weren't in Burlington.
Huh?
We weren't in Burlington. We were we in Mississauga, weren't we?
No, we were Dufferin.
North York.
Yeah, we're in North York. I think driving to Burlington wouldn't have been a problem. It's just the timing, because he was still a couple hours from being done, so we had nothing to do. Mm-hmm. But Mike, it was Paul's idea. Just so you know.
I don't want to take the credit for it, but
but I did. Right, I don't want to take the credit for it, but
he's right.
I did.
He's right.
Okay. Tell Iain an idea at the Detroit Pro next year to have a special award in his honor. No, Iain doesn't get an award in his honor. What are you talking about? But Iain may be commentating at the Detroit Pro, so that is going to be special. Would you say that if two girls catfight over a man's affection, that hair pulling is what men are viewing as the deciding maneuver to determine which woman is stronger?
What?
Oh, I don't get that.
Greatest third place Olympian ever. It's very specific. Greatest third place Olympian ever.
Well, a lot of guys have got third.
Yeah, who's the best one ever?
Dexter. Dexter, LeBron.
Dexter's
like consistently third though, or just placed third once?
That's what I mean. Like everyone's placed.
I think it's just has placed third. I would say Dexter.
What's the worst Phil placed?
His first one was fifth, wasn't it?
I thought he was fourth, but I think that might be the Arnold. It might have been fifth at the Olympia. I don't know. I'll have to ask Iain when he comes back. I think Dexter. Think about it. He's got the most wins in IFBB history.
Oh, Nasser. Nasser ever get any thirds at the Olympia?
Dexter's better than Nasser.
Yeah.
Dexter's got like 30 fucking wins, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I love watching the interviews with Nasser back in the day. He's like, I'm not answering that question, stupid.
He was an angry guy. Eh?
I'm not going to answer such things because it's a waste of time. Like, what the fuck? You're here to do an interview, man.
He fucking hated dumb questions, though. And he thought everything was a dumb question.
I can get along with that.
Yeah.
Didn't he come from a family of doctors? Weren't both his parents doctors or something? He was highly educated, too.
He seems like it, but I don't know.
Ridiculous because he's sitting there in the suit where he looks like ridiculous. And like, this is a ridiculous question. Like, you're 300 pounds in a suit, dude.
This question's for Paul. Where's Bermuda?
Bermuda?
In the middle of the triangle.
Yeah, yeah. It's off the coast of right between Florida and South Carolina.
I don't know about that.
Bermuda's in Florida.
What?
Wait, what?
I think. Bermuda, Florida.
I think you should have stuck with your first answer because that sounds a little better.
I know it's somewhere off the coast of Florida. I don't know if it's considered part of the state of Florida.
I think it's pretty far off the fucking coast, though.
Is it?
Like way out off the East Coast.
That's like saying Japan's off the coast. Japan's off the coast of Florida. Japan's off the coast of
wait a minute.
California.
Is Bermuda an island?
Yes.
What state is it a part of? It's not an independent. Like,
it's its own country, isn't it?
It's its own country, man.
It is?
Yeah. Where is Bermuda, Paul? Come on.
It's off the coast of Florida. Leave it at that.
Okay, well, that's right. I'm gonna show you how right you are. It's over here.
Florida's right there.
Just off the coast.
Okay.
Just off the coast of Nova Scotia, too.
Okay, let's see. Is it an independent country?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
It's a British island territory. There you go.
There.
Oh.
Looks nice there.
Iain. Greatest third
Who's your
place.
favorite third place in the Olympia?
Greatest
The
third
most
place
random question.
at the Olympia.
I don't know.
I said Dexter.
This is a rude thing to say, but I don't really remember like that many third place guys.
Well, they've
If
all
you're
been
not first, you're last.
they've all been third at some place. Kevin has been third. Flex has been third. Sean Ray's been third. Fucking Dexter's been third. Like
Won, so you can't really count him. You know
what?
Dexter also won though. You can't really count him.
No, but he's saying like anybody who placed third at the Olympia. So I'm saying like Dexter's placed third. He's probably the best third place Olympian. I don't remember Jay ever taking third or Ronnie taking third.
Phil.
Phil didn't take third.
No, I don't think so.
Phil's taken fourth.
That was his
That's what I
first
said.
one, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, geez, I don't know. Has Flex Wheeler ever placed third?
I'm sure he has, but he's not better than Dexter.
It wasn't who's better. It's your favorite.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I guess if you're going by favorite, yeah.
If you want to guys go with your favorite 10th place, I could tell you that, no problem.
Okay, long one. I don't know. It doesn't have to be long. Why do many industry experts say Hottie is not one of the aesthetic bodybuilders? Because he's not. Well, let me read this guy's explanation. To me, when he's doing a front double bicep, he has a great X frame and he's pretty comparable to other aesthetic pros, and his waist looks pretty small to me in that pose. Can you explain why he might not be considered aesthetic? Well, your breakdown of his physique is inaccurate. That's why you're not understanding his whether he's aesthetic or not. Why are you laughing? He's saying he has a small. Why are you laughing? Yeah, you.
This is a really polite way to say you suck.
It was like a polite way of saying you don't know what you're looking at.
Well, look, it's not.
Sir.
Okay, listen. I'm not trying to be a dick, but not everybody not everybody just because they think they know how to break down a physique knows how to break down a physique.
Yeah.
He's saying he doesn't know why he's not called aesthetic because he has a small waist, but Hottie doesn't have a small waist.
No.
That's why he's not
a small waist. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
say that again.
I said he doesn't have a big waist, but he doesn't have a small waist.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's getting worse as he gets bigger.
I don't know. When you see him pull up in a front double, it does look pretty tight and good. And I do agree with him in that it flows nice in his shots. But I think it's a far cry from looking like a guy like Andrew Jacked, you know?
Well,
yeah.
If you say
Just
aesthetic,
being able to compare him to the guys that do have tiny waists makes him look like he doesn't really, but his physique flows like you said, because he's a smaller guy and he still looks nice in the shot.
Flow and aestheticism doesn't.
But I don't think he's
aesthetics isn't the same thing.
I agree.
So like this to me is not a small waist.
Well, yeah, I mean, but nobody's waist even Samson's waist doesn't look amazing doing that, you know?
Okay. I can pull up any photo, dude. It's not a small waist.
I agree. It's not a small waist, but it's not a big waist, you know?
You know what I mean? Look at the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think he's done a good job of making it look as small as possible as he can possibly make it.
Because he's so muscular, he's able to control his waist pretty well, but it's not a small waist.
No, you wouldn't refer to him when you're referring to small waist bodybuilders.
No, so that's what I'm saying is the first inference of, well, he's got a small waist, so why isn't he considered aesthetic? That's the part that's not correct. It's not a small waist.
Abs and thighs.
Sorry, Ian, go ahead.
There's an abs and thighs up top. Can you guys not hear me well or something?
Well, it's because you're cutting out when I don't know why it was fine before, and now if someone else is talking, yours cuts out.
Weird. Yeah, there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we're looking from the side, right? You can't really.
But I'm saying like look at it compared to Derek's, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Derek's doing a vacuum, but still, it's definitely a smaller waist, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think one of Hottie's strengths there, his like just dense muscularity and granite hardness. Those are his strengths, not so much his shape.
Yeah, that's the reason he wins is just raw muscularity and conditioning. It's not and
he's balanced.
Yeah, it's never no one. I don't think anybody's ever picked Hottie as the winner because of aesthetics.
Yeah.
Like there, it looks good. That looks good there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Looks really good there.
But this is what I mean. This is 32 weeks ago. So I feel like the most recent stuff that he's putting up is his waist looks like it's getting a little bit thicker.
Yeah.
Oh, but even here, like I'm saying, it's a good waist that is
Yeah.
well developed, like abs, and it's good, but I wouldn't put it in the realm of the small waist aesthetic guys, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's also too like his strength is, like Paul said, his muscularity and like raw like feel to his muscle. So it's like you just look at him differently than you look at someone like Andrew or Samson or his physique is not pretty. It's rough and like rugged. So it's just you look at it differently.
Mm-hmm. It was great, though. That's a recent video, or that was had 32 weeks ago?
This is last year, I think.
Oh.
But yeah, so sorry, I wasn't trying to be rude, but I think that's the main thing is I think his physique is just looked at, his body in general is looked at differently.
Yeah.
Would you rather have the accolades of Ronnie, but have to live with his current physical state, or the accolades of Dexter and be relatively unscathed? Mike, I'm curious what you have to say about that.
If I had a chance to be Ronnie for once, I'd probably go with it.
Even if you have to
for a year.
Even if you have to deal with the post.
I'm dealing with shit anyway, so not to the extent he is by any means, but I mean,
Ian,
like,
what do you think?
I mean, I'd be kind of hypocritical with the move I just made to not pick Dexter, you know?
Yeah. Paul?
Yeah, I'd pick Dexter myself. As much as I'd love to be known as the GOAT like Ronnie, you know, Dexter, man, like he looks great still to this day. You know, I don't know of any health issues ever had or injuries. You know, there's a lot to be said for. I'm getting older, so I know what it's like to be in your 50s now and want to feel good still.
He's also older than Ronnie, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
He's 52, I think.
What's Ronnie now?
Well, I mean, they're probably not far off the same age.
Yeah.
Ronnie it says Ronnie's 59. That can't be right.
I don't think that's right.
Or 1964. Yeah, he's 59.
Yeah, I can see that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't young when he was winning Olympias. He was 30-ish.
But I thought he was 44 or something like that on his last Olympia.
Turns 54 this November.
So yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. I think he was like 44 during his last Olympia. That was like 15 years ago.
I apologize.
That long ago now, eh?
More, yeah. Yeah.
Actually, 5 years older than Dexter.
Yeah, because his last Olympia was 2006, and I think he was like 44 or 45 in there. So yeah, that's like
it's been that long, eh? He's been retired.
Crazy when I googled that and it says Jay Cutler is fucking 50.
Yeah, he's always been the same age as me. Well, I'm 51.
Paul's 51.
Yeah, but Jay looks the same age as me.
Oh, come on,
you know, like,
I'm not doing that bad here, am
I? Little peck there, that's about it.
Yeah, you know, other than the mangled pack of the gray beard.
Ian, what is going on with your sound?
I don't know. Is it's going in and out, or
it's not allowing you to talk if we're talking, which is kind of good.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Ronnie.
Yeah.
We did that one. Can you take Ritalin while on test? I don't know. What do you guys think? Can you
try it?
Sure.
Try it.
Give it a whirl. Only one way to find out.
Now that the UFC and WWE merged, do you think the IFBB could do something similar? And how could it benefit or hurt the sport? Did the UFC and WWE merge?
I think they bought a big portion of the UFC, didn't they, WWE?
Yeah.
I think the McMahons are out. Like they had their last like show that they controlled.
But I thought Vince bought it right back or something right after.
Mm-hmm.
There was I watched some of the Hogan podcast with Joe Rogan, and he's talking a little bit about it.
UFC WWE merger. Share screen. WWE's internal struggles open the door for an endeavor to engineer the merger of UFC and WWE into a separate company, TKO. The newly created Fight Club is valued at $21 billion, with UFC accounting for $12 billion of that valuation. So it's now TKO. It's a combined thing. But does that mean, like, is it going to change anything for programming?
No idea.
UFC CEO Dana White has confirmed that Vince McMahon rejected the opportunity to buy the UFC in the early 21st century. That doesn't matter. Okay, well, there was a merger. I don't know. I'm curious how that's going to change any of the fucking like programming on either sport, or is it going to change anything?
Probably not.
Probably not.
So are they just merging for financial reasons, not content reasons?
And take a bigger share of the market in terms of like viewership of TV, right?
Yeah. So do you think the IFBB could do something similar with who? Who are we going to merge with? I think people should. I think people should stop hoping that IFBB is going to be extremely mainstream, because I just don't think
it's never going to be. But that's kind of the fucking
cool part of it.
Like that's kind of the good factor about it. It's like our thing, right?
Yeah.
Like people don't get it. Like people don't get when they see a guy Ian's size and musculature walking down the street. Like you want that. Like, whoa, what the fuck is that, dude? Like,
well,
I think mainstream. It's just like.
I also think people don't understand the athleticism of it. They're just like, okay, he's a big guy. He took a bunch of steroids. Who cares? And it's probably weird because he's on stage in a pair of underwear and he just puts oil on and paint. And I don't think they understand like the grind to build that kind of physique.
Yeah, and the pain that it takes.
Yeah,
it's not like pain in the sense like you break something, but like to put yourself through uncomfortable shit all the time.
The monotony of the monotony
doing
of suffering.
Doing it like to the fullest extent all the time, right? So
I don't think the average person can understand it or knows anything about it. So how the fuck can it ever be mainstream?
Yeah. Well, remember for the longest time they were trying to get in the Olympics. That was a big goal. I think that's like they
the one place where drugs are frowned upon.
Yeah, I think they finally
come on in, guys.
You know the funny thing is, if you look at the Olympics, is there a sport where it's hard to understand?
The Olympics?
Yeah,
they've had a lot of new sports recently.
I know, but can you think of a sport in the Olympics that if you're just some dumb shithead off the street, you couldn't turn on the TV and understand what's going on?
Yeah, I could think of one. Don't they have like pole dancing there now or something? Isn't that an Olympic event?
Yeah, I guess they have like the gymnasts that like twirl the fucking ribbons and shit too.
If you wouldn't know the sport,
to, like, score it.
Yeah.
Like who's good and who's not.
Unless you knew the sport. Yeah.
Because you got to know the mandatory like fucking jumps and shit or tricks they got to do.
Okay,
how well they're nailing it.
Right, I agree with you guys there, but you could still appreciate the dance part of it, no? If you like that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the pole dancing, it probably takes a lot of athletic ability.
Well, same with the ribbon dancing. They do flips and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, I think bodybuilding would be the one thing where you'd be like, nobody knows what the fuck is going on.
Isn't there a speed walking now too?
I think I've seen that. And their hips just go like this.
Yes.
Ian, your sound is out, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna log off and come back then.
Yeah, do that. Yeah. But yeah, that's always been my thing about bodybuilding. It's just, I think it's just something nobody can understand. They sit in the audience and they're like, well, they all look huge and they all look shredded. I don't get it.
Yeah. Do you guys, I know I'm older than you guys, do you guys remember back when there's the American Muscle magazine on ESPN?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I used to love that. Like you would never know when it was on. It was on at random times and days.
Let me actually rephrase what I said. I remember seeing video of it. I wasn't following bodybuilding when it was actually on though.
Okay.
Because I was on in the mid 90s, right?
Yeah, I must have been like 17, 18, 19 when I was watching it. And you never knew when it was coming on. It was never programmed at like a regular scheduled time. They would just plug it in once in a while on TSN. But it was awesome.
Ian, can I hear you now?
You can hear me okay?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
What were you saying before you cut out?
I forgot. What were we talking about?
We were talking about bodybuilding mainstream and how it can't be, because I was saying nobody can really understand what's going on.
I can't remember.
Okay.
Valid point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice insight.
All right. This is actually good. Somebody asked about this. I think it's close enough now that we can do it. Do we have any Olympia predictions?
Sure.
All right. Let's get we're going to put this in a real spreadsheet. So it's in front of everybody. Okay.
How many slots are we picking?
10.
And we can change this, right? Because we still got a lot of time for Olympia.
Yeah.
10 slots.
We'll do the last podcast will be, I guess, the Tuesday or whatever the week prior. So like 9 days out or 10 days out.
Okay.
And we'll make that the final time.
And we're just doing top 5, top 6.
10.
What are we doing?
10.
Top 10?
Holy fuck.
Am I still cutting out or am I cutting? Okay,
No,
no.
you're there. Okay.
I think it does it when sometimes like my buddy just stopped by there and I muted it a couple times. I think when I mute it and then unmute it, sometimes it fucks it up.
Let's just do this. Okay.
And yeah, and just write the names.
Yeah. Okay. Ian.
Okay. I'm going to go Derek in 1.
Okay. Mike?
Are we? I'm going all my 10 first.
No.
Okay.
We'll go one at a time. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, good.
Or Paul, whoever has got one ready.
I don't want Derek to necessarily win. I think Samson should, but I think Derek will.
Paul?
Samson.
Ian?
This is the tough one for me, picking between Samson and Hottie. I'm fucking really torn here. I'm going to go Hottie for now until I see some closer updates of Samson, because I've seen Hottie looking right now and he looks really good, but I believe Samson could be second.
Mike?
Samson.
Paul?
Derek.
Hottie for me.
Yeah, Hottie for me.
Or sorry, Samson for me.
Paul?
Hottie.
Nick.
Nick too.
Nick. Andrew.
Andrew.
Same, Andrew.
Brandon.
Brandon.
Hunter.
Andrew.
Same. Hunter.
Come back to me.
Hunter.
Who to put in that fight spot?
You don't got Brandon yet, but
Brandon.
This is a tough one for me. Do we know if Nathan's doing it?
I'm going to guess until we know otherwise. I'm going to guess Nathan's not going to make it.
no, he's qualified, so let's put him in there for now until we know he isn't.
Okay. That's fair.
Okay, I got Nathan there.
I'm just looking at everyone qualified right now.
Where is that at?
Here, I'll send it to you.
Crizo for me, Fouad.
I sent it in the group chat, Mike.
Oh, let me take a look.
Okay, I'll pick my next. Wait. Are we all assuming here that Ramy is not competing?
Yes.
Oh, fuck. Oh, he's not?
Well, are we going to use the same rule that we used for Nathan? Because is he on the list?
He is on the list, and
Yeah.
to my knowledge, he is competing.
Well, if he is competing, mine's just changed.
Yeah, well, I'm
They
gonna
got
go
you
to-
on here too, though, Ian.
Yeah, that's true. but we all know that I'm not competing.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm going to put Baruz in mine. For 10th.
I'm going to put.
Oh, still Brett too. I didn't see Brett's name there at the top.
Okay, so wait, we're putting Ramy in now.
Well, we have to if we're going to go by the
Yeah,
rule we
okay.
did for Nathan.
Okay,
I'll go Ramy, then Brett.
Yeah.
I'm gonna change mine then.
Okay, what do you want, Paul?
I want Baruz.
Where do you want? Okay, where are you putting Ronnie?
10th.
Where are you putting
Rob,
Ronnie?
I'm not putting him in the top 10.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry. Love the guy, but
That's a mistake.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a
They go-
mistake.
go-
Don't fuck with my head.
Fatal error.
I'll
Go ahead.
be up all night thinking about this.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Ramy, then Hunter. No, down one. Ramy, then Hunter. And then I'm gonna put Baruz. And then Krizo.
Yeah, I might put Baruz ahead of Crizzle too. Mike, what do you think? You putting Rami in there or no?
Rami.
After Brandon?
Yep.
Oh wait, shit. Sorry, I'm changing that.
Brett.
Actually, no.
Baruz.
No, I am changing it. I'm gonna actually.
Is that
I'm gonna
10?
put-
Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, 10. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Nathan in 10 and not Krizo.
I think I'm gonna put Baruz and Nathan. I don't know, man. Fuck. Nathan and Crizo is a tough call.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I don't
it
know.
is.
I just look in my head and like, I think a good version of Nathan, I don't think I could beat very easily or at all. And I did beat Krizo last year. I know Krizo will be better, but I could be better too. So in my head, I'm like, okay, if I beat Krizo last year and I feel confident that I could maybe again, I'm not so sure about Nathan, man. He's got a lot of good tools, and I don't know if I could beat that. So I'm going to put.
I think you have just an equal chance of beating Nathan as you do Crizo.
Yeah, that's why they're tough on that spot, because I think I could beat Nathan in some back shots and you beat me in some front ones. So it's like it's tough to say, but
I do have a lot of faith in Baruz, though.
yeah, well, that's why I put
Me
Baruz.
Fouad, for my 10th spot, can you give me a slash and put Ramy next to it?
All the way in
I saw
10.
what you did there.
I got in your head there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Well, I saw what you did too. You got like an alternate there for your
Well,
10th.
because this isn't final picks, right? So I figure I'm stuck between those two there. So I think this is probably going to change quite a bit between now and the Olympia, but it's good to get a skeleton out.
Yeah, I feel good about mine, but I also have maybe Baruz, Nathan, and Ramy who might not even be there. You know?
Yeah.
I don't.
All of us do. Yeah.
I don't feel great about mine, but I'm okay for now.
I feel good. And I know
Listen,
who I would put in there if we took those three out. So.
Well, this is the problem. This is why I don't feel great about mine. Sorry, I just want to bring this up real quick because Mike touched on it last week, and we didn't get a chance to cover it. Where the fuck is he? There he is. So Abdullah posted this shot of Brandon.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, I've been saying this for about 3 months now. People keep forgetting Brandon. And all I keep telling people is the only reason Brandon didn't win last year, or at least place higher, was because he was a little bit spilled over. Like, he was bigger than everybody that was ahead of him. He was just spilled a bit. But if he was on, he might have fucking won last year.
Well, he wasn't bigger than Nick, but
dude, I remember him coming out. Like, I know you were back there with him, so I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah. But I remember when he came out, me and Jose were like, holy fuck.
No, I remember. Even backstage, he's very impressive looking. He looked huge backstage last year.
He looked very big and very round with great shape, but he was just spilled over a bit. But if he comes in shredded, I don't see why he can't win even.
The only reason I don't put him ahead of some guy like that back looks beautiful, but like someone like Samson is kind of in that same conditioning department, but taller and a little more pleasing to the eye. And then I think when you have Derek, Hottie, and Nick, I think their conditioning is just far superior to what Brandon generally brings. And they have less, like Brandon's hamstrings in some shots aren't the best. And, I think he does have some better parts, but I also think the conditioning, unless he's like harder than he's ever been, is going to be hard to overtake someone like Derek or Hottie's conditioning,
Okay, but wait a minute. First of all, that's a massive hamstring.
Yeah, no, it's but like in the back shots, I don't like it quite how it looks quite as much.
Yeah, it looks flatter.
I think what I'm saying is, I think Brandon is a combination of Nick and Samson.
I can agree with that. Sure.
I think that's why he's special, because he has some of that really thick, round muscle, but just gets in a little bit better condition than Samson. I think it offers a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So either that's going to put him out of the top 4 or 5 because he's not perfect in any scenario, or it's going to put him at the top of the top 5 because they're like, this guy's got the best of everything.
Yeah, I can't in my mind for some reason see him beating Derek. Like Derek is so good from the back. His conditioning is fucking outrageous. He's got a tiny waist, crazy lats. But other than that, it's fair game in my mind.
I'm just a big fan of Brandon. And
me too. He looks fucking sick, obviously.
Like these are, I know it's tricky because it's far away and they always use this, this shot. But man, his fucking shape is so like outrageous. Like, look at that.
I can see him battling for 4th, but in my opinion, at least, it's a Samson's size and structure, Derek's crazy proportions, and Hottie's just raw muscularity and balance. Those are the 3 that I personally don't believe he can beat.
But hear me out.
Everyone else, I think he can.
Hear me
that
out.
That back is crazy nice, though.
Hear me out for a second, Paul, because you're a judge. So hear me out for a second. If you're looking at this has got Samson's shape written all over it.
But at a smaller...
Right. But hear me out. So you're looking at a guy with Samson's shape, but you can see from his conditioning here, he's already closer to what Derek's conditioning is going to look like. So if you have somebody with Samson's shape and Derek's conditioning,
I don't agree with that.
I'm not saying he's Derek's condition, but even if he's close to Derek's condition, now you have a beautiful shape with great condition. Why wouldn't it be why wouldn't he win?
Myself, from the waist up, Brandon is very hard to beat. It's the waist down. Yeah. It's the waist down. Like the quads are a little bit short to me, like in comparison to the upper body.
Oh, I don't.
Hamstrings don't quite hang as low as some of the other guys do. I think it's a beautiful physique. I think Brandon's obviously a great, one of the best ever, but
he's won Olympia.
I just don't think you can, to me at least, I don't think he can bring a good enough package to beat a Samson at his best, or Hottie at his best, or Derek at his best.
I agree.
Okay. I think if everybody's at their best, like if Samson reaches a new level of conditioning, I think Samson wins. But I don't see, I don't know. I just see Brandon being a wild card. I really see him being like a guy
who's kind of like, he's a hard guy to place, eh?
Not for me, man. I'm like, this is.
Yeah, it is for sure. Yeah.
Like his legs, sure, his quads aren't massive, but he makes up for it in adductor. Like, look at the thickness of his legs here when you add the adductor.
Crazy arms and crazy back, and
like look at the shape. Like
the only thing with him is that makes it hard to place for me is just the level of hardness and conditioning he can get. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But look at that. Fuck.
That's a great shot. Certain shots, he looks amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
I haven't seen one pose yet where I'm not like kind of blown away by it.
Yeah. No, I think he's in that 2 to 5. I don't think he's lower than 5. I don't see him winning, but I don't see him.
This shot is fucking wild. Look at this.
But now put that next to Samson or Derek, though. That same shot, even though as impressive as it is, I think it loses a little bit of its luster when you're standing next to one of those.
The thing with Samson is one of those guys that it's different when you're standing next to him because he's so fucking big. No matter how good you look, when he's that fucking big and that nicely shaped at being that big, it's real fucking hard to stand next to him, So and Ramy was indicative of that last year. He came out standing next to Ramy, and everyone's like, "Holy fuck!"
The tricky thing about Samson is, I know what they want from him, and they're going to want a harder package than the Arnold.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I think if he brings a harder package than the Arnold, then it's his show, in my opinion. It's him or Derek. It's like whatever, but like I think it's going to be, if he brings that level of conditioning they're looking for, I think Samson can win. But if he can't, I wouldn't be shocked if Brandon fucking. All I keep thinking is last year when he walked out, I was so shocked at the size of it. And if he was just harder, I don't see why he wouldn't have beat Hottie.
Where did he finish last year?
Fourth. But the only reason the 3 guys beat him was because of conditioning.
Right.
But he wasn't like his normal conditioned self. They spilled him over. And Abdullah told me, he's like, I filled him out too much.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if he brings him down, does that change everything now? Does he jump ahead of those 3 guys? So I don't know. It's just, it's an interesting one. I really root for Brandon. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see him it would be a cool story too, to see him lose the Olympia and then get it back.
Yeah.
So
a few years later too.
Yeah. Need Paul's opinion on my physique, specifically my facial features and jawline structure.
Well, you asked the right man. Hope you got thick skin.
How do
You
you
got high
feel? How
standards.
do you feel about this being your reputation now? Guys are going to be like, "Oh, Paul's judging. I better do my hair."
I've got some DMs. Yeah.
Do you think nutting before a workout affects your lifts negatively?
If you're on gear, probably not. No.
It does for me.
It makes
Really?
Depends how soon before my workout.
They actually did a scientific thing on this with someone having sex before doing a boxing match of some kind and gauged that like his performance. And I don't really think there was any change in it.
Well, that was an old school boxing technique that trainers wouldn't let their
don't know
players have
sex
sex
before you fight. Yeah.
Yeah, for like a couple of weeks or something. Like
But
to
I'm
make
not-
them angry.
Takes away aggression though.
To make them angry. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how that couldn't, because like the more you nut, the happier you're going to be.
Yeah.
But I don't know about it in a scientific point of view. All I know is if I do, I'm tired and now I don't want to train
Well,
anymore.
what you do then is you nut, you shoot a lot of HCG, take a lot of Halo, and go train.
or you just go work out and you nut right after. When are you going to start doing Rate My Physique segments again? We're going to start doing them on the HOSSTILE app very soon. What's the hardest moment to overcome in your entire bodybuilding career? Retiring. For me, maybe not for Iain.
Probably the first time. This is such a stupid one, but at the time I remember being really hard was the first time when I won the New York Pro, and it was like such a big moment for me, winning such a big show, and it was like I felt all I got was negativity about it, and it was the first time I'd experienced that, because like when I won Spain, it was positivity. When I went to Olympia after, everyone was like, "Man, you should have placed higher." And then I won an even bigger show the next year, and it was like I felt like all I got was negativity. Which now, obviously, as I've got more, affluent, and I realize that's kind of just like what everybody gets, but at that point in my life, it was the first time I'd experienced that. And I remember that being really tough to be like, to not doubt myself going forward,
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. It's a weird thing. Like nowadays, if you win a show, or I don't know, if maybe in other sports it's the same thing, but like you have just as many fucking haters as you do fans.
Yeah.
It's weird, eh? Because
Like,
before you
think
become
about
a winner, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Paul.
I've never experienced, what you guys experienced, but I'm just saying, like, everybody wants the guy who's second or third to win. And then when he wins, they want to tear you back down.
Dude, okay, this is a little bit different, but I've experienced this in the podcast. When the podcast first started, I had no enemies, no haters. Everybody watched the show. They're like, "Man, this show's awesome. It's so cool what you're doing for bodybuilding, blah, blah, blah." And then the more successful it got, it turned.
Yeah.
And I'm
Crabs
like,
in a bucket, man.
What is that?
People want to crabs in a bucket. People want to pull you down to be at their level still.
Right.
When they see you ascending, they want to pull you back down.
It's
Well,
fucking
I remember after I won the New York Pro, and I was talking to Tyler Mannion, and he was like, "It's so funny." He's like, "Before, when you weren't winning shows and you're coming second, third, fourth, everyone was saying Ian's getting robbed. Ian's getting robbed."
Right.
He's like, and then you start winning shows, everyone's saying you don't deserve it. He's like, "This is fucking hilarious." He's like, "From our perspective, it's like we don't give a fuck, but it's hilarious to look at,
Yeah, but it's even from a macro level, like I've seen this happen a few times. So if we look at it like Ronnie Coleman, when he won, people were like, "Ronnie Coleman's the fucking greatest." And then when he kept winning, by the time it was his 8th Olympia, people were so happy that Jay won. They're like, "Get this fucking guy out of here. We just want Jay. We just want the underdog to win." And then
it happened to Jay.
And then Jay wins. And then 2 years later, everybody hates Jay. They're like, "Fuck Jay, he sucks."
Phil.
And then Phil wins. Like, "Yeah, Phil's the greatest." And then they're like, "Phil sucks." It's like it happens all the time. They want the underdog to win, and then when the underdog wins, they're like, "Fuck that guy. We want a new guy."
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand that mentality. I don't understand why it's. But then it's funny, if you endure the hatred, you come out the other side. Because if you look at Jay now, Jay's more popular than he's ever been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he endured all the bullshit, and then he's on the other side now, and people are like, "Jay's a legend."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny how there's like this pattern that every successful Olympian winner or like successful person I've seen in the public eye has endured this same pattern of like lift the guy up, tear the guy down, and then, okay, we're all over it now. Let's be happy for him again.
I mean, even me, since I retired, it feels like all I get is positivity now.
Yeah.
It's like every post I do, it's like just positive comments on everything,
But I wonder what that is, Ian. Is that like, is that like, well, Ian's not a threat anymore because he's no longer competing with us, so we can all be happy for him?
Maybe.
Is it that? Like, Mike, do you have any insight on
But
that?
if Ian starts winning races, they're probably gonna start talking shit to you again.
They'll have new haters in the
Yeah.
racing community.
The track world will hate me. Like he was fucking sauced up for 15 years. Fuck this guy.
Mike,
It's
you have
just
any
the
insight?
same. It's the same thing as like people hate you, and then when you see a celebrity pass away or someone disappear from something, they love them. Like you're saying,
Right.
it happens all over the place, right? So
Right.
a celebrity could pass away, or an artist, musician could pass away, and their catalog sells out.
Yeah.
The week after they pass away, because everyone's like, "Oh, remember all the good times," but you hated them
Right.
when they were around because you envied their success, or they made you feel a certain way about yourself because maybe you weren't doing so well. But now that you're back at their level, which is in that case non-existent,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh man, he was a good guy. He wasn't that bad." Like it's the same shit with people like with sports, right? Like Ian probably had a lot of haters because Ian's very good at bodybuilding, and anyone who retires from a sport who's very good has a lot of people who are envious. They're like, "Fucking this motherfucker," and then after like, "Oh, he wasn't that bad." Like it's like, what's wrong with you? Either you fucking like someone or you don't. Don't like. It's almost like a virtue signaling thing. Like, now that he's retired, oh man, I'd take a break on him. You know, I gave him shit, but we're cool now. It's like he didn't even know you.
It's funny because since I retired, the amount of people that I've had coming, and I think you even had one message you about for me that came through like their girlfriends, or I made another account, be like, "Hey, can you unblock me now?" You know,
yeah.
This guy's messaging, unblock me. So it's people that were talking shit about me on my page, and like we're like, if you say a bad thing, I'm like, "Fuck you, this is my page, you're gone." You know,
Get out of here. Yeah, exactly.
Get out of here. I don't care to have this on my post. Go say it somewhere else. You know, so I fucking block a shit ton of people, and then now that I'm not competing, they're like, "Oh, I want to be fucking nice again," and they're like, "Please unblock me." I'm like, "What the fuck?" You know,
it's like that.
But I just don't understand it. It's like Mike said, if you hate somebody or like somebody, just why is their standing in life change that? If I don't like somebody, whether they're successful or not successful is not going to change that.
Yeah.
I don't like you as a person, so I don't give a fuck if you're a billionaire or you're living on the street. Doesn't matter to me. Yeah. So I don't understand that mentality of like, oh well, he's retired now, he's not a threat anymore, so hey, can we be buddies?
Yeah.
People nowadays, like a lot of the time I'm sure you guys can attest to this, they're not genuinely happy for other people, so they don't genuinely want you to do well. Like they do, as long as it's not as good as them, or if you get ahead of me, now I'm not cool with you. But it's like you starting the podcast and everyone's at a level playing field with you. We're all just trying to do this thing, and if as soon as you pull away, it's like, oh, like it's his fucking problem. Do you know what I mean? Like even if you haven't changed as a person at all, you're just still doing what you're doing, working on a path towards something you care about, but everyone's left behind who's not receiving that same praise or success or whatever. They're envious of you and you've done nothing, but it's the enemy in their own mind, right? Where it's like they start to bash you down. Oh, he's successful, but this is shit, not shit. And it's because of that. And like they start doing that shit, right?
So you think if the podcast was a failure tomorrow, all those enemies would disappear?
Well, it won't be, so you don't have to worry about that. Keep your enemies, man.
No, I'm not saying I would do that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's just fucking interesting.
It's a double-edged sword though, because those people now motivate you, right? To keep going faster. So it's like you have to look at the silver lining of that. It's like these people who never did fuck with me, well, fuck them and keep watching me succeed, and you can like me later when I retire. You know what I mean?
What feels better, pooping when you need to poop or peeing when you need to pee?
Pooping when you need to poop.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I take a piss when I really have to, and you just get that like that feeling.
You know, I find it in the wintertime is worse.
Especially when you're drunk, though. When you're drunk and you got to piss. What'd you say, Paul?
In the wintertime, I find it worse too. If it's cold outside,
if I go to hot to cold, I have to piss instantly.
Really? Yeah, or if I go in the water, if I go in a pool, instantly within a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Really?
Yeah.
As soon as I walk outside and it's cold, I gotta piss.
When I swim in my pool with the kids or something, I'm getting out every 10 minutes to go piss around the corner.
Do you ever piss in the pool?
Just pee in the pool, man. You got chlorine in there.
No, I don't pee in the pool.
You pee in the pool for sure.
What's the chlorine for?
I may have once. I had never, but not regularly. Do not pee in there regularly.
I may have once. Fouad, keep scrolling. These questions suck. Okay. What's the one thing you thought you'd get from bodybuilding but never did? Conversely, what was the biggest unintended consequence of bodybuilding for you? What's the one thing you thought you'd get from bodybuilding that you never did? I got everything I wanted from bodybuilding.
Yeah, me too.
Not me.
All I wanted from bodybuilding was to make enough money and make enough of a living to be able to work out for a living. And I did that.
It's funny when I started bodybuilding, my mom was like, "What's your goal?" And I was like, "I just want to be 230."
Just like you
well, you obtained that one.
You went past that a little.
And now I'm fucking struggling to get under 255.
Yeah. No, for real though, that was my only goal. I didn't ever think like, oh, I'm going to win the Olympia. I just wanted to fucking work out for a living. That was it. That was my entire fucking goal. Paul, Mike, anything?
I didn't get enough what I wanted out of it. I mean,
you did. Yeah, you did.
Well, now, yeah. Well, I mean, but not at first. At first, I wanted to be a pro bodybuilder.
Ultimately, you have gotten.
I'm happy where I'm at. Don't get me wrong.
A lot from bodybuilding.
But I have got a lot from bodybuilding. You're right. But initially, I got because I wanted to be a pro bodybuilder, and then I just had to live that.
You probably could have been a pro bodybuilder. You were just too scared to go for it.
Nah, I couldn't have. I don't think.
I know what your physique looked like.
Well, thank you, Fouad. But
if you had a little bit more heart, you could have been a pro.
Heart.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was heart.
Well,
a little more dedication, Paul.
In the off season.
The heart. No, the reason I say heart is because heart is included in risk.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Like you didn't want to take the risk of not having a career, so you chose to go the career route.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for a lot of people. But
yeah.
If we're talking about strictly physique, I think you could have been a pro.
Well, thank you for that. I don't think though. I don't think so myself. I think like I could have been competitive at the national level, but I don't think I was ever gonna win nationals.
I think you could have.
Well, pulling you up now.
I appreciate that, but I'm like super happy that I'm a pro judge now and a promoter.
Let's see if we can find any pictures of Paul.
I sent you a few, didn't I? Yeah, there's a few pictures.
These are great, Paul. What the fuck is this from? When did you have a mohawk? When did you have a mohawk?
Local fitness guru.
Yeah, I had a full hawk for a while.
Local fitness guru.
That's my barber Mo. Put that on there.
You want to see something funny?
What? Oh, there it is. There's one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that wasn't a pro physique.
That's not a well. This is your probably worst look though.
Well,
I wish I had.
Look, that was 2008.
well, let's not get carried away.
Torn pec aside.
No, I'm not saying like your worst. I didn't mean it was a bad look, but there was a show previous to that you looked. I think.
Well, I think I had better condition at the Ontario's, but I don't think I was as big.
Why is it that when I put your name in, all that comes up pictures of me?
I don't know. I just didn't notice that myself.
What? Yeah, go back and Google my name now.
Okay.
Just type in Iain Valliere, takeaway bodybuilder. Look how ready the internet was for me to retire. Okay, click enter. Now go to all. Look what I'm qualified as now under my name.
Internet
personality. No longer pro bodybuilder.
It said Canadian bodybuilder until I retired, and then they changed it. Now it says internet personality.
Where am I looking? Where does this? Oh, here.
Yeah.
Holy shit! They got rid of it right away, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Iain, all this is for nothing. You're just a personality now.
Yeah. Is personality?
Is Iain Valliere? Is Iain Valliere Mr. Olympia?
Really well.
I did see this that did really well.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. 150 some views.
What the fuck are you guys doing that are watching this show? He's still at 84,000. Come on.
Yeah. How many views does this video have now?
This one's at 30.
No, that's not. Oh, this is my Ask Me Anything. Sorry, this isn't my retirement video.
No. I know your retirement video is more. This is the most recent video did. Yeah, how many hot dogs could you eat? Look at these questions. What the fuck?
I did a Q&A today in a fucking cold plunge.
Really?
Oh, like the Kevin Hart shit. Kevin Hart does
I did it while I was in a cold plunge on my YouTube today. But man, it made it so much easier. I sat in the cold plunge for fucking 13 minutes. Like it was nothing.
That's great.
Yeah. It was like you're just thinking about the questions, and it's like it's so much easier.
So is this your goal now? You're going full blast on YouTube or what?
Well, I'm doing more because I feel like I have more time and energy, and like there's other shit I want to do. Like, you know, like whether just the chip or like I want to go fucking bungee jumping and put that on there. Just like I filmed like a full daily kind of vlog today.
Don't go bungee jumping.
Oh my God, man. That'd be so fucking fun.
Come on, man. That's like...
What? You don't want to do it with me?
No.
Fuck, that's scary, man. I'd rather jump out of a plane than bungee jump.
Well, yeah, that's way less scary.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I think it
No,
is
no.
for sure.
Yeah, skydiving is way less scary than bungee jumping for
What if your
sure.
parachute
Yeah.
doesn't open?
Yeah,
At least
but
a
what if
bungee, you know
if
you're.
short staff? Like it's the same thing, you know.
But you,
The
I mean, you
reason-
know.
The
At
reason
least your
it's
feet
scary-
aren't tied up, you know?
Yeah.
Your feet are free.
the
I
reason
like
it's
having my feet tied together. It freaks me out.
No.
you get ground approach feel where like in skydiving you don't
Yeah.
get that because you're so high, but like bungee jumping the ground's so close, and you also get that like feeling of your stomach dropping that you don't get in. So like it is actually considerably scarier to bungee
When
jumping.
I watch
Really?
when I watch people skydive, I'm like, oh, I could do that. When I
Yeah,
watch
I
people
don't think that would be scary.
when I watch people bungee jump, I'm like, I almost like look away. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
god, don't do that.
You know what's
It-
the worst angle to watch skydiving? Because they always show people from above, like getting film going down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Watch it from a side view, and they're like,
Yeah,
Really?
you don't realize how fast you're fucking falling, but like because they're like, oh, I'm floating. It's like down. Like,
No, Chris went skydiving when he was like 16. He said it was fun, but not like terrifying. But bungee jumping is way scarier for sure.
Well, the skydiving thing also is because usually, and I don't know if this goes for all skydiving, but usually you have a guy like on your back, like the
yeah,
the-
you have
the
to unless you
instructor.
Paul, you hear that, Paul?
Yeah, that's not going to feel much better.
You're gonna hold you tight.
Yeah.
Scared.
He's freaking out.
Hey, I gotta tell you something. I probably shouldn't say this. I'm for sure gonna get fucking roasted, but I thought when I used to watch guys do jujitsu, I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. It's like just like there's a lot of touchy feely shit going on. I'm like,
And then you realize it's like you could kill someone, and it's not that touchy feely anymore.
me and Paul start
Well-
doing it. I'm like, it doesn't feel that way at all. You're like too worried about getting choked the fuck out.
Well, I need you in the balls a couple times today on accident, though.
Yeah.
My flexibility's
Paul's
not very
trying-
good.
by accident on purpose. By accident
No,
on purpose.
it was totally an accident.
Paul's trying to get this move right. So I'm on my back and I got my fucking guard up. And Paul's trying to get this move right. Puts my knee down and fucking knees me right in the balls. I'm like, what the
That'll fucking teach you.
I'll try to get the technique down still.
Okay. Conversely, what's the biggest unintended consequence of bodybuilding for you? The most unintended consequence of body. Mike, we never asked you. What was the one thing you got from bodybuilding? You thought you'd get from bodybuilding, but you never did.
I wasn't looking to get anything from it, to be honest. Like I told you before when we were talking, like I only got into bodybuilding because it just was the next logical step. Because I liked football, but I didn't like football as much as I like lifting weights.
Right.
And I liked being jacked, and I couldn't do that playing football. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to do the lifting of the weights and the jack stuff.
Yeah.
And I was already big, so I was like, this is easy. I'm already big, so I just put more muscle on, and the next logical thing was just like, what do these big jack guys do? Let's get on stage and
But why
pose.
did you, when you competed, did you compete because you wanted to make a living out of it, or you just wanted to see what it was like, or what was it?
No, I competed because I wanted to be good at it, but I never thought that like I knew in my heart I was like, I'm not going to make a living doing this. Like I'm not good enough to do that. Like, but I thought like maybe the size and like networking and having that size and being that kind of presence, because I could move still as a big guy, would elicit like shifts into other things, or like be a trainer, like this and that, get into security work. So I just kept my size and worked on my size because I understood that like being a physical presence is helpful in those industries, and then also being able to actually do something with yourself is another thing, right? So I never thought like, oh, I'm going to be Mr. Olympia or this or that. Like I just enjoyed bodybuilding for bodybuilding. Just got to lift weights, and I honestly looked forward to like doing shows so that I could immediately be done that show and then get bigger. Like, I was just like, oh, so I get skinny and then I get to get huge again. It's like, this is fun.
What was an unintended consequence that you can think of, Mike?
Positive consequence.
It says
positive.
It says unintended consequence of bodybuilding for you. So I don't know if it has to be positive, but
Sorry, how you read it the first time, I thought it was something that
it says conversely, what was
something that you did get, you know?
It says conversely, what was the biggest unintended consequence of bodybuilding for you?
Yeah, so it could be
Well,
positive.
I guess a lot of us could say like maybe the relationships you formed while bodybuilding. Like I never thought like working out would lead to me meeting certain people or having the friends that I have, or even getting in the circles of people that I've been in circles with because of it. So
Yeah, I got to use
And
kind of
that's-
my answer from what Mike gave to the first one, just like, you know, the amount of doors and relationship, like the amount of doors that open, relationships that built to do other things in that world of bodybuilding after bodybuilding, you know, like now that I built that name from being a good bodybuilder, how many other things I can do in this same world, like feels limitless to me right now, you know, like whatever I want to do in this world, it feels like that door is open to me now and it feels like it's possible. So, you know, that was something that I didn't really ever think about or intend to, but is definitely a positive consequence of it, you know.
I think for me, it's the podcast, the supplement company. These are never things I even fucking imagined.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. Those kind of things.
Yeah. So these two things, and for me, I think one of the biggest things is just being a better business person, because I take a lot of the shit that I learned from bodybuilding. Like, you know, it's funny. I was talking to Summer about having speed bumps in our business. So one thing I've learned in the last 3 years is you have to have immense patience, and you're constantly dealing with some problem. So in the first 6 months, every time there was a problem, I was like 0 to 100. I'm like, oh fuck, what are we going to do? But then it's like, I think bodybuilding trained me to, like, you know, going through injuries and stuff. You like learn to like, oh, okay, it'll be okay. I'll train around the injury. It'll get better. I'll get back on stage.
Yeah, or like having a show you don't do well at, and then
Right,
be like, okay,
right. So all of those,
yeah.
right. So all of those little speed bumps in bodybuilding have taught me that you don't have to fucking freak the fuck out every time there's a problem. You just kind of deal with it and move on.
Yeah.
So yeah, the unintended consequences of bodybuilding are actually pretty big. What's your karaoke song? If you had to do karaoke tomorrow, what would you pick?
Africa, Toto.
You
know, I love that song, Fouad.
That's actually a great pick. Yeah.
I love that song.
You can't sing that song.
Yes, I can, Fouad. I sang it many times for
Your
you.
voice
Well, not
is,
for you, but in front of
your
you.
voice
Go.
is so. Your voice is
Go
so
right now.
It's so
Do it.
bass.
Yeah,
Wait
that matches that song perfectly.
It's gonna take a lot to get your way.
Here, listen. Your voice is way too low for this.
Wait, singing it in a different key, man. Come on.
Yeah, I can change my voice.
This is a cluster full of browsers who aren't.
God damn it! I gotta get premium already.
Here's only whispers of some quiet conversation.
There's no way. There's no
Sing
way.
it,
Conversation.
Sing it in your death metal voice.
Okay, Paul's is Toto. Mike.
I don't know, man. It's
I have
fucking
no idea.
tough.
I have no idea either, to be honest.
There's no
What's your
song you guys sing
I look
that
at
was on the radio?
I look at the last song that was on my
I'm gonna go.
on my iTunes. Say with "Pour Some Sugar on Me," Def Leppard.
So it brings you back to the strip club days.
Yeah, I would sing the hero Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah.
I don't know that song.
I can be your hero. baby.
Yeah, I'll sing that.
I'm gonna
That's-
go with Nickelback.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Which
go with
one?
Nickelback.
Photograph.
Well,
Sing Photograph.
Which Nickelback? Photograph?
Leader
No,
of Men.
Leader of Men for
I
sure.
love that song.
Okay, there you go.
No, I got to go with somebody like a lower voice, like a Pearl Jam, like, you know, that whole era of grunge where they're all saying like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Jeremy. Sing Jeremy by Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam or something like that. That's for sure. Why are Indian people? Why is this why Indian people aren't bald?
Pardon?
Why are Indian people not bald?
It's a genetic thing, obviously.
It's actually true. You don't see a lot of bald Indian people.
I've seen some thin, but
Same
I've
with
never
Asian.
seen
Same with
I've seen
Asian
some with
people.
I've seen some with glued on hair pieces on the top of their head. I'll tell you that much.
Fouad, please do a video with the guys where you eat every Lunchable and rate and rank them. I think it's a good video, Ian.
Yeah, do it.
Lunchables.
There's a lot of different types.
I love Lunchables.
I'll do it with
I
you.
do too.
Let's do it on Sunday.
Yeah, cool. That'll be what I'll coat my stomach with before I eat the chip.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be
gotta
what
do a
you
review.
throw up. That'll be what you throw up.
You got to do a review of each different type of lunchable.
Nader told me to eat
awesome.
Nader told me to eat a large pizza before, like to coat it with that like greasy, fatty food.
Yeah.
He said it makes a huge difference. So I'll
Really?
just eat Lunchables instead. Yeah.
I feel
Hope
like
he's not fucking with
I feel like Mike's right. It would just be what you're going to throw up.
No,
What
doing it
tastes
on
good
an
coming
I
up?
think doing it on an empty stomach is the absolute worst thing you can do.
That sounds
Yeah,
bad
it's not
too,
because
yeah.
your stomach acid's probably
That's how you
all
fucking
fucked up.
burn your stomach and end up like
Yeah.
I
getting
would literally
ulcers and shit,
chew. I would down a bottle of Tums or
Pepto-Bismol,
Pepto-Bismol, and
yeah.
then fucking
Coat it.
I'd drink a gallon of whole milk, and
Yeah.
then fucking and then down the hatch.
You want like fucking half and half cream.
That might be bad too, though, Fouad, because if this gives you the runs, this chip, and then you already had milk on top of it, oof.
I'd rather have the runs than be burnt. You know what I mean? Like,
fire asshole. Yeah.
The
but then
runs
again,
aren't fun though.
well, it depends if they're fire ass runs.
That's what I'm
Ring of
picturing. You got the
fire.
the runs from the milk, and then
Yeah,
you got fire.
What if you get over it and you deal with it, and then the next day you got to shit and you got to go through all the pain again, but out your ass?
That's what happens. That's the
Really?
reality of the situation. Yes.
it's gotta come back out.
Yeah.
Oh god. So why
That's
does
why-
water make it worse?
Because it spreads it around.
Oh.
Yeah.
It doesn't dissipate.
Water,
it,
anything
it
with high
moves it.
water content is bad. Like just don't drink water at all. Like it just spreads the spice around, but doesn't neutralize it all. And milk is actually good because of it being acidic. So things that are acidic neutralize spice. So really you could just sit there and fucking suck on lemons and that might actually be better than drinking milk, you know?
Fouad, would you still be friends with Paul if you had a wet dream about you?
Well, I
Been there,
promise you,
done
Fouad,
that.
It's
Been
probably
there, done
it's probably happened. It's probably happened already.
I promise you, it's never happened.
Yeah, know what I gotta say though? I've actually, since I retired from bodybuilding and like my sleep schedule has changed a lot, I've been having way more vivid dreams. Every night I have like extremely vivid dreams every single night.
I dreamt I was a firefighter last night for no reason at all.
I dreamt I was at a fucking club of some kind, but the club was in like a prison and some guy robbed me and then we got into a shootout.
Wait a minute. I think this, Ian, I think this has something to do with our shrooms.
There
Because
you
I've been
go.
dreaming like crazy the last couple weeks.
Ever
Yeah.
since?
Dude, and they're all totally fucked. Like nothing
Really?
I watched. Yeah, like why was I a fireman last night?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
And it was
Uh,
it was a long dream too. I'm like, I remember, I can't remember what the dream was, but I remember being a firefighter for like the entire night. I was dreaming
Your-
this fucking dream.
your whole career of a
Yeah,
firefighter.
and
Dream.
I had one the other day where I was back and I was like running really fast. And for some reason I was at dinner at my gym teacher from high school's house for dinner. She's a female, but she was there and she had these extremely black, rotten teeth. And she was getting really close to me to talk. And it was like, like disgusting, fucking like dad
Have you
breath
ever
in my
looked up?
face. I
Have
was
you ever
like,
looked up
"Whoa."
the meaning of dreams? Like that kind of shit, like what you see in dreams. You should look it up. It's fucking good. Like
There's
put in
some
like
shit.
rotten teeth in a dream, and it'll tell you why.
Really?
They get
I
like they
thought
get in depth. These people get in depth with the shit you see in dreams. I don't even know how they fucking know, but
I don't remember my dreams very often. If I do, I forget them quickly.
Yeah, if you write them down right away, you
Believe it or not,
Oh.
believe it or not, dreaming about rotten teeth may actually be a positive thing. In real life, tooth decay should be immediately addressed. But in dreamland, rotten teeth may mean that you're on your way to resolving unfinished business.
See,
Ooh.
I just retired from bodybuilding. How much that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like doing things that like I didn't feel I got to do, and I'm like doing it, you know?
being a firefighter.
What does it mean if you dream
Symbolize
about being a
dousing passion and anger.
dreaming about
Huh.
being a firefighter may denote failure? Great. Fucking Ian.
Well, you had that thing yesterday, Fouad. You
Ian
had-
dreams
you
about
up that-
rotten teeth. They're like, you're going to be a success. I dream about being a firefighter. Like, you're going to fail.
Because you said you tapped out yesterday in class for a minute.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
That's like a. Most likely, a person is feeling insecure about their ability to succeed in the current situation. Furthermore, their dream could be a sign that they are facing some sort of failure in your life. Well, I did get my ass kicked at the gym, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's fucking interesting. Mike, you're fucking with my head now.
The teeth makes perfect sense for me, like unfinished business of like wanting to run fast again, like
Right.
whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think I banged my grade school teacher in like my dream last week. What is that?
Yeah, type that in.
Yeah,
See
what does that tell you?
her specific name too. Put that in. Mrs.
No, but
Williams.
Listen, I'm being serious though. I think since the cottage, and it might have something to do with the shrooms. I've been dreaming like fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Really?
me too.
Yeah, now I can't explain it, but now that he's saying it, I'm like, maybe it's the shrooms.
And it's crazy because I'll even have multiple ones in one night. Like say I like have a very vivid, like long dream, then I'll wake up to piss and I'll fall asleep and have a completely separate
Right.
one. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Paul, it's not happening to you, Mike?
I don't remember. Sometimes I remember my dreams, but lately I haven't been.
See, I when I wake up, I tell them to Melissa like right away that I had them, so that I always remember them now because I've already reiterated it once. You know?
Well, Paul, if you had a wet dream about me, I'd still be your friend.
Thanks for
I
that.
would make fun of you all the time for it.
I know you would. You tell me that I want to bang you or something. But no, I'm pretty sure I won't have that conversation ever. I don't think it'll happen.
Tonight's the night.
Yeah, well, you probably got it. You planted the seed now, eh? Probably.
He's afraid to go to sleep now. He's just laying there like fuck.
I'm gonna have to watch a movie or something to get my mind on something else.
Can someone say if they're in the off season if they've never competed before?
Sorry, say it
Nope.
again.
No, but they could say they're bulking, I guess.
Yeah.
Can someone say they're in the off season if they've never competed before?
No, they're bulking.
Yeah.
Please.
You have to train completely naked in a public gym. What muscle group do you train?
Not leg.
Hamstrings.
Not back.
Stiff like deadlifts. Right in front of the rack.
Yeah.
The place would clear out.
I'm probably gonna do arms.
Arms, yeah.
Yeah.
Arms and
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah, you don't want to do chest either.
I would do shoulders, and I'd make sure I'm doing Mike's lateral raises where I'm kind of rocking back, so my dick is just kind of like,
One, two.
Yeah, I just count it. Yeah. It's like a metronome for my reps,
Yeah, it's a rep counter.
Yeah.
Chicken and fish versus beef for contest prep diet. Why do people cut it out?
Higher fat content.
Yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, I always cut it
Just
out.
reduction in calories. Simple as that.
But it was also digestion for me too.
And digestion. Yeah.
Like,
sure.
because when I have this really bro sciencey thing that I don't know if it's bro science or fact, but I have this theory that if you're hungry, you're burning more fat. And I know it's probably bro science, but
it feels that way for sure. I agree.
But it feels that way to me. So like if I ate like fish and rice, if my meal was like say 12 ounces of white fish with like a cup of rice or whatever, I would eat that and I would be hungry like fucking half an hour later.
Well, yeah, but the reason of that is obviously because if you had beef, it's going to digest.
No.
Yeah.
Right. I know the reason. I understand the reasoning, but I always felt like I just want to be hungry. So it's like,
especially in that last like 6-7 weeks, you want to be hungry,
Yeah. So, I've done a couple preps with Chad, man. I remember one prep I did with Chad. It was all beef and almonds.
Yeah.
And I remember cooking my almonds into my beef. I would saute the beef till it was almost like 80% done, and I would throw the fucking almonds in.
And then I had preps with Patrick where I was still eating 2 beef meals right after the show. And with Matt, like when I carved up, I only ate beef 6 meals a day for my carb up,
I did that for my carb up too.
Yeah. Beef only, steak or ground beef every single meal. Yeah.
But that would make sense because the fat from the fucking the beef slows down the carb digestion. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, that's no, I don't think it's like you can diet on beef. I think just it's preference really.
Yeah, no, I mean, if the calories just have to come from somewhere else, like if you wanted to do that, you might be consuming a little less on the back end of carbs or fat sources in some other regard. But at the end of the day, it is in some regard just, calories in, calories out, and beef is more calories than chicken or fish.
I do remember though, and this is also something that Stan Efforting says, is your performance can be better if you keep your beef in. Just because it's higher in micronutrients and things like that. And you do need the fats. And I do remember with that diet with Chad, there was very little, if any, carbs.
Yeah.
So we needed the fats from the beef.
Yeah.
So it has its place. Why didn't Paul make it to pro? We kind of discussed that, I guess. Somebody said
make it to what?
the first response, tile foot.
After my pec tear, people calling it a tile pec. Like, yeah, you got a tile pec now. Or tile titties.
How to improve squat mobility? I would say ankle mobility is first. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yes. Yeah. Make sure your ankle mobility is good. Stretching your ankles, stretching your calves, stretching your hamstrings, your hips, glutes.
Mike, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I'd agree with that. Maybe make sure your hips are really warm too.
Yeah, good hip warm up. Yeah.
Favorite candy bar?
Mars bar.
Score.
Yeah.
I'm kind of, if I feel like a treat, I go with a Toblerone.
You're such a fucking woman.
Fancy.
I do. You guys are
good. Yeah, that's Swedish chocolate.
Was it Christmas? It's Christmas time you're around here?
That was fucked up. I knew as soon as I said Toblerone, I'm like, here it comes. I'm like,
Toblerone, shit.
The only thing gayer you could have said was like Lindor dark chocolate.
Hey,
Dark chocolate.
Lindor,
Yeah.
Lindor, not dark, but Lindor's fucking really good chocolate.
Lindors are good.
Just the balls are really fucking good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the balls.
it's so fucked up. It's
Melting in my mouth.
I knew as soon as I said Toblerone, I'm like, fuck, you shouldn't have said that.
Yo, I fucking baked cookies 2 days ago.
Did you really? Wait,
Nothing wrong with
okay.
that.
did you help Melissa bake cookies or did you?
No,
bake
she
them all
wasn't
yourself?
even home. She wasn't even home. I just was staying around the house. I'm like, I gotta feel like making some cookies. I wanted to eat them, so I just baked them right there
From scratch or from a mix?
from scratch.
You
Really?
eat them all at once?
I got a couple left.
Oh,
Were they good?
They're
You're not
fucking amazing.
retired then,
It's
for
funny
real.
too because I completely butchered. So like I got to the recipe and then I read all the ingredients. So I just started throwing them all in a bowl together. And then
Yeah.
the next I scroll down and it's like, okay, mix your dry ingredients in here, mix your wet. And I'm like, fuck,
Yeah.
you know, this isn't gonna work. So now I've got like butter in there with like egg with oats because I did a peanut butter oatmeal cookie and they're fucking amazing. So now I have to like try and mix this all together, which was like impossible. So I'm in there with my hands like trying to fucking melt the butter, mix it all together. I'm way there with the mixer. It took me like 10 minutes to mix it
That-
thoroughly. They ended up being amazing.
See, and you're not thinking that should have been your YouTube video.
Yeah, I should have.
Yeah.
That should have been that would have been fucking great.
Yeah.
Ian makes cookies.
I'll do a baking segment like once a month now, you know?
Craziest pre-show food to carb up. Craziest. I never did anything crazy. I don't think. I've done the apple pie filling. I've done cream of rice. Actually, I carved up once with Mile High chocolate cake.
Did a whole cheesecake before.
A whole cheesecake.
To carb up.
Yeah, but one of the mini ones from like President's Choice in the
Yeah.
freezer. Yeah, I ate the whole fucking thing.
The only crazy, like, and this isn't even crazy, but I think the only like really off kind of normal food I did was when I did Indie Pro 2018 with Matt, where I was like fucking full as a house. I ate a lot of fucking burgers before that show. Like I was eating like going to Five Guys like multiple times, Wendy's multiple times. And with Greg Doucette, same thing. I was eating a lot of burgers and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I did
But that's
burgers.
weird.
I did burgers and Mile High chocolate cake. That was the fucked up.
Yeah. I never did any cake. No.
If Ian
I'm
could
gonna
give
order
us
a burger right now.
Oh, I like
Just made
this
me
one.
so hungry.
I like this question. If Ian could give his Olympia qualification to anyone that didn't qualify this year, who would he
Ooh.
pick?
Okay, well, who hasn't qualified that was close? Like, we got to think of guys that were like second places in shows, or it doesn't even have to be second, just someone I would like. Damn.
Who's somebody that always looks good, gives 1,000%, but just can't quite get there? That's what you should do. Tim would be a good one. Budasheim.
Tim. Yeah, if Roman hadn't have qualified, I would have said Roman. for
Yeah, I
sure.
was going to say that too. Yeah.
Damn.
Who's someone that like has been trying for years, like Dorian Haywood? Give him a crack at it. He would have a
I'm not
blast.
giving him a crack.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm not giving him a crack.
He can earn his spot. I don't know him, so I don't. Fuck. That's such a tough question. I can't even think of like all the guys I can think of already qualified, you know?
Someone like Big Joe Seaman.
Oh yeah. I would give Joe Seaman, or no, 100% I know who I'd give it. I'd give it to Quinton.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, because he's going to get there on his own.
He will get it there on his own, but he hasn't yet. And I think honestly he could do decent in this Olympia line. So if it was like, no, because he took this season off anyway. So it's not like he tried to.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
he probably could have qualified if he tried. So no, that doesn't make sense. And he'll
That's what I'm
qualify.
saying. You should give it to somebody. You should give it to somebody who's right there, but not quite.
Or you give it to somebody who will probably never qualify, so that they have a one chance to stand on the Olympia stage.
Right.
Can I give it to Paul Lauzon?
Yes.
Lauzon.
Yes.
Lauzon.
Yes. Oh, Lauzon. No, Lauzon.
Lauzon. I'd probably get to my own anyways. But
I'm giving it to Paul. Yeah.
Oh, okay, thanks, Ian. I'll
That
take
would
it.
be amazing.
Like, They could make good use of that too.
I wonder what the response would be if you stepped on the Olympia stage all of a sudden. If the curtain just opened and the title was like
A standing ovation.
People would go ape shit. That should be a rule. You know what? That should be a fucking rule. They should make that a rule.
What?
I can nominate someone.
If you have an Olympia qualification, you're not able to make it for some reason, you're allowed to give it to somebody, but they can have criteria as to who they can give it to. So you can't just give it off Joe Blow off the street. but like it would be cool if you were allowed to like sub someone in.
Yeah, like another pro that's placed top 5 in a recent, like a show of that season. Yeah,
that'd be kind of a cool fucking twist, you know?
Yeah. But I think if we had to pick active people, I would actually probably give it to Tim.
Give it to beef stew.
To Tim Budasheim. Or I could give Stu would be good too, but I think Tim would do good in that Olympia lineup. I think that kind of muscularity and greenness could show up well there. And I think that would be a guy that would like really enjoy being there. So I would give it to Tim,
What ethnicity or culture has the best food in your opinion?
Italian.
I hate to fucking give Paul this one, but fucking Italians.
You know it's true though, Fouad.
It is true.
Yeah,
you guys make fucking one fucking.
Yeah, like I'm not like a huge Italian eater per se, but if you have to pick like across the board and you're counting pizzas, Italian, like the pastas, like it's hard not to pick. Like I like Indian food way more than I like Italian food as a whole. But like as to go to a restaurant, but if you got to pick one as like an overarching, you got to
even the salad, the caprese salad, it's fucking
tomato sauce and cheese.
Yeah, you can't fuck it up. That's all you guys did. You guys took tomato sauce, cheese, and one noodle, and made it into a bunch of different noodles. And then you're like, look at all our dishes.
Lasagna, different pastas, whatever the fuck. Yeah.
When you perfect something, Fouad, you don't stray from that. You just make different variations of it.
You guys could have been a little bit more creative than just making one noodle.
Well, and you still picked it as the best food. Yeah.
You can put it on bread. You can put it on pasta. There's all kinds of different uses for it.
I hate giving Paul this one, but I have to.
Well, you know it's not that
you know what? 2 things Italians got right: cars and food. But not really even cars, because they got the styling of the cars right, but the Germans perfected them. So I don't even know if I can give you cars. I can't give you cars.
Well,
I give you style.
Well, yeah, I'm not a car guy, so I can't argue that with you.
One word, Ferrari. Anyway.
Lamborghini. Yeah.
But that's what I was going to say. But Lamborghini's made by fucking Volkswagen.
It was originally, or it is now?
Or it wasn't originally.
No.
It's owned by them now.
It's had, listen, that car company has quality issues ever since they started.
Oh,
It's always been a beautiful automobile. It's obviously has all the styling and performance, whatever, but the quality of it was shit until the Germans took over.
Really?
You know what's funny? Because Lamborghini started as a tractor company.
I know that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then the funny thing is the owner of Ferrari, is it Enzo? I think it's Enzo.
Yeah.
Made fun of him for thinking he could make cars, and he's like, I'm going to make a fucking car better than your car.
Is that how it turned? That's how the story?
That's how the whole thing started.
That's awesome. So 2 egomaniacs, eh? That makes you created the 2 best cars.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, we'll do a couple more and we'll go. Fouad and Mike, if you eat pizza, we're missing the pizza fest this weekend, by the way.
Oh, I saw the video.
We have our own pizza fest anytime we want.
Yeah.
Literally.
Fouad and Mike, if you eat pizza, does there have to be something after with it, like pizza, then ice cream, or pizza and wings, or all 3 together?
I'm good with just pizza.
I have to have something with it. Usually.
What's your go-to?
So usually it's pizza and ice cream. When I'm feeling really sloppy, it's pizza, wings, and ice cream.
Do you ever dip the pizza in ice cream?
I'm not that fat.
we haven't reached that low yet. We're heading
there. If I eat pizza with no ice cream and no wings, I feel like I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, you feel better the next day.
Yeah, I feel fine.
You know what's really good if you get pizza? If you get the 1-bite brownies and then the caramel dipping sauce.
That's good, yeah.
Oh, I never didn't know that dipping sauce for that.
I got I shouldn't even tell this. I shouldn't even say this. I got the 1-bite brownie things from Costco. It comes in like a box like this.
Yeah.
And you ate the whole thing in one day.
Close.
I could.
Well, that actually begs the question, Mike, that this person asked.
I saw that fucking
whatever happened to the muffin challenge.
Fuck him. You do it, and then I'll do it after.
Paul, does your job care about you openly talking about gear and things like that on the podcast?
I don't know.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just doing TRT anyways.
No comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed to do TRT. You have a fucking your script from your doctor. What is you doing wrong?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. Relationship advice for a young competitive bodybuilder. Is tension around bodybuilding normal, and does it resolve with time, or does the non-bodybuilding partner need to be able to understand the lifestyle from the beginning?
They're never gonna. They're fucking
Yeah,
never gonna.
no, they'll never understand it.
I
Just hope that they accept it.
Listen, I honestly want to agree with Mike on this one. Go ahead, Ian. You were going to say something else.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was different with Melissa, but when we started dating, she didn't get it at all, and it did cause some turmoil at the start until she then started competing. But she started competing to like understand my world and like kind of get it a bit better.
Right.
And she got bit by the bug a little bit, but yeah, at first it was definitely a topic of controversy. You know, like obviously it's tough to balance. But then once she did it a bit, obviously it made it a lot easier on both of us, and it was like a kind of a mutual understanding. You know.
My relationship is exactly the same. So summer, it was crazy because I went from off-season Fouad, who was totally happy, to pre-contest Fouad, which was miserable.
Exactly the same.
And she was like, "Who the fuck are you, man?" Like,
it was exactly the same that happened. Yeah.
So then we broke up, and she did like 2 or 3 shows when we were broken up, and then we got back together. She understood it more. She understood like what I was going through and the prep and everything, and then we were fine ever since. Yeah. But I don't want to ruin this guy's relationship, but it's really hard for people who don't compete or have never competed to understand how selfish it has to be.
Or hasn't done some kind of athletic pursuit at a very high level.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it doesn't have to be bodybuilding. Like, even if they fucking, you know, speed skated, whatever the fuck it is, like at something at a high level where it takes a lot of time and like your schedule kind of revolves more around that. It's very hard to understand. Yeah.
Do we know any couple? Sorry, Paul, go ahead. You think?
I was just gonna say, I think though, if you are in that situation like this guy might be in, I think before you get into your pre-contest stage, though, maybe you should sit down and have a talk and be like, you know, for the next 10 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, but I honestly, I don't think you're wrong about that, but I don't know if talking like really gets it through. Like, I don't
Probably
know if
not.
Really.
But at least a warning, you know, because like an off season doesn't really change things too much.
Yeah.
It's when pre-contest where things change.
But I don't think if you haven't done it, there's only 2 scenarios. Either you're extremely selfless and you're willing to take a backseat to your partner's needs, or you have to have done it or been there or experienced something similar to it.
Yeah.
Because if you have your own needs and you put them on the same level as your partner and you don't understand what the fuck he's doing, you're going to have a problem. You're going to be like, why is this person being so fucking selfich?
You know,
right?
Especially if they're a younger couple, right? And that your girlfriend may have like a lot different idea of what your social life should be and what you guys should be doing. Like, that's not going to be what you're going to want to do.
Yeah.
I think you're not going to want to go out drinking. You're not going to want to go out hanging out at this person's house. You're not going to want to go on these trips or weekend excursions. Really, as you're younger, you're going to want to focus on what you're doing. So that's going to cause friction in itself. So I think the older you get, maybe the more understanding people get, because people are kind of more mature. But if you're really young, it's going to be hard for her to get.
Yeah, because there's older couples, like you look like Phil Klahar and his wife, like she's not in the bodybuilding world, but like they're older, you know?
Yeah.
And I think there's lots of like couples like that it works perfectly fine. They love it and they're supportive and they help them cook their meals and blah, blah, blah. But I think it's, especially like Mike said, with younger people where there's still like a preconceived notion of like what they want their life and social life, especially to look like, I think it becomes very difficult. Yeah.
Well, I think with age too becomes that with age, you also become more selfless.
Yes.
So using the example of Phil and his wife, like she's completely there for him, like to help him with his, you know what I mean? So I think it's tougher for a 25-year-old, like Mike's saying,
100%.
to be selfless.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. I don't know. I can't think of any relationships in bodybuilding that aren't either a selfless woman that doesn't care and just wants to be there for her man, or is either involved in the sport.
Yeah.
When do what everyone else does. Break up with her and get back together with her after the show.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding MO right there.
When I met my wife, I wasn't competing anymore, but I was judging. So the first time she came with me to a registration, This is back like the last couple of years. We don't do suit checks anymore. But prior to that, we'd always have to check the female suits.
I remember that.
And just the bottoms to make sure that they weren't thongs or anything like that. So my wife, who's never been to a bodybuilding show before, doesn't know anything about the sport, comes with me to registration, and all of a sudden, girls are taking their pants off and bending down in front of me to show me their butts to see if their suits are suitable or not. And she's like, "What the fuck are you involved in?" And I was like, I'd explain it to her, and it took a little while to get her to get used to that.
Okay. Last question. Iain Valliere was the Lonely Island.
Did you just what did you just call my last name?
Iain Valliere.
You said Valliere.
I said Valliere.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Rewind this. Editor. Rewind.
Iain Valliere.
Yeah, you said like Milos. Iain Valliere.
Was the Lonely Island correct when they said it's not gay when it's a three-way? With honey in the middle, there is some leeway. What?
It's song lyrics, obviously. He's asking, is it not gay if it's a three-way? So
no, it's not gay if it's a three-way. Of course not.
Well, but it depends. Is it gay if it's a three-way?
If you're having sex with a girl, if you're having sex with a girl and a guy, and you're not touching the guy, it's not gay.
But I think he's.
Look at Mike's like, yes, it is.
I think the question might be begging, like, what if you do stuff with the guy, but it's a three-way? Is that gay?
Well, then it's gay for sure.
Yes.
What if you accidentally look into each other's eyes? Well,
what if you're
depends. Are you gazing? Are you gazing?
Eyes are down. Eyes are down. No matter what's happening.
Wait. Are you gazing into each other's eyes, or are you laughing?
No, you do this.
You're doing this.
Yeah, you're high-fiving.
If you're high-fiving, it's okay.
Hey, man.
Like...
Oh, yeah. You looking at me? No, I wasn't looking at you.
What would happen if you're blowing your load and somebody got on your buddy?
That's not gay.
Or what if you're banging and he looks down at your shit and he looks up and he goes, "Nice, man." You're like, what?
Yeah, that would be gay. Yeah, that would be awkward.
Yeah, what about in like the context of if you're like, this is getting hardcore, but like say you're having a three-way and you're like DPing a girl and your dick's touched.
Yeah.
Ooh.
No, that's okay.
Swords cross, you know?
Yeah.
No, that's.
But it'd be weird. But it'd be awkward and weird.
It would be weird, but it's not gay now.
Would you pretend like you did? Would you pretend like you didn't feel it? Would you feel it? Just ignore it. Yeah.
No, you start worrying if it like felt good and you're like, I want to touch dicks more, you know?
No, I think if you're
that felt kind of good. Touch my dick
are you talking about the tissue in between the dicks?
No, like say
like you're going like this and then one flops out and hits the other one. Oh,
yeah. Which is bound to happen.
No, I thought you meant like if one's in the pussy and one's in the ass and they're touching.
Because there's going to be friction.
Yeah,
give me that too.
Inside rubbing.
Yeah, you can feel them, right? Like
it's a thin layer of skin there.
Yeah.
You're going to feel that pressure.
I don't think that's gay.
No, definitely not.
It's not gay, but you're getting borderline there. You're getting close.
I don't think so.
You're climbing that hill on gay mountain.
Yeah, you're getting pretty close.
DPing a girl with a buddy is a pretty fucking straight thing to do, no matter what happens. You know.
Listen, I think if there's a woman involved, there is no gay shit unless you're specifically going after the guy.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Lee Priest would disagree with you.
Not. Well, I'm not saying he's gay for doing what he did. I'm saying if he enjoyed it and wanted to do it again, that would be gay.
Then you're getting a little gay.
Yeah.
I have no desire to bang a chick with a guy.
Me either.
Ever.
Never.
Yeah.
I would be. I think I would just laugh the whole time.
Either.
Yeah, that's horrible.
No, like I know tons of guys who've done it, but it just like in my eyes, I'm like, I don't understand it. Like, do what you want, but
I did a lot of weird.
I couldn't get focused. I couldn't get like. I wouldn't be able to like focus. I'm like, what's this guy doing? Like,
I'd be laughing the whole time, or I'd be, like I don't know, it'd just be too awkward for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure when I was in like teenage or college years, I would have done it and not been like opposed to it. But like as I get older, I'm like, no thanks,
Well, I don't think anybody wants to do it when they're 50 with some other old 50-year-old man. It's like,
it's a 50-year-old skank.
32, man. Come on.
No, I'm saying like as you get older, you kind of like that stuff wears off. Okay, let's do one more thing before we go. I know we talk about shows. You guys got to watch A Million Miles Away.
Yeah, you're saying it's good, huh?
It's so fucking good.
It looks like it's
a lot of
like a sucky show.
It looks like a what?
A sucky show, you know?
Well, it's not sucky. It's a true story. I like true stories. I'm a huge I like based on a true story movies.
What's it about, Fouad?
It's about okay. I'm gonna get you guys started. It's about a Mexican that immigrant. Why is that funny, Mike?
I don't know.
I don't know why it's funny. It's just funny though. I don't know.
He's just an immigrant.
It's a Mexican family that immigrates to the U.S. and the child wants to be an astronaut and ends up actually becoming one. And he's the first immigrant, first migrant farm worker to become an astronaut.
Doesn't sound that great.
I'm telling you, it's
I like him.
I might give it a try. But I'm not excited.
I'm telling you,
he doesn't want to say it out loud. So Paul just like, it doesn't sound that good. sounds like shit. I don't know.
Okay, but wait a minute. Mike didn't like Winning Time.
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, really. Everyone's got different. You don't like basketball, probably, either, right, Mike?
Yeah, but
I mean, I don't mind watching documentaries like style stuff, and I don't mind watching sports movies. I just couldn't get into it. Like, I don't know.
We all have very different taste, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
I like Tulsa King a lot.
Yeah, we all love Tulsa King. I didn't
finish that.
I'd watch it.
You haven't watched it? You should watch it. It's
pretty good.
Classic Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm stuck for something to watch now. I got fuck all to watch. So
because it's the writer's strike, bro. There's nothing good coming out.
Is that why?
Yeah, they're not making anything new. There's nothing new coming out.
That's been going on for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's going to probably go until January, they think.
All right. Well, until next week, what are we doing? So we're meeting.
I was going to say a prayer, but.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, we've got lots to pray for tonight, too.
What do we have to pray for?
Well, my pack, for one.
You have to pray
basically the prayer's about me.
Yeah. Yeah, your prayer should be a little bit longer. They're very selfish.
Yeah. Well, I'm open to suggestions. If you guys have anything.
You should be like, this.
Can I get a fucking prayer for my shoulder healing, man? Like, God damn, you got a pick there.
All right, Mike gets a mention for the shoulder.
Ian wants to be faster. You could help him with that. Like,
I want to stop eating. I want to stop eating junk food. Like,
stop eating pizzas for Fouad.
Can we please?
Okay. All right. I'll try to be more inclusive on this this prayer.
All right. Let's go.
Okay. Let's bow our heads. Dear leader, we have a lot to pray for tonight. I don't want to be selfish and start my own problems, so I'm going to start with Fouad. Fouad got a problem right now, eating a lot of pizzas. We got to stop doing that. So let's give Fouad some strength there to have some self-control. Mike's shoulder, let's make that better. And Ian, looking good with the running lately. Let's keep it up. Get those times up. And my pec is a little
down. We want him down.
Yeah, times down.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah. I want to make Ian faster. And my pec's a little banged up again right now. Let's hopefully that gets better soon and get back on stage maybe.
Whoa.
Paul's going on the Olympia. I'm voting him into the Olympia.
Yeah. You can't pray for.
I got to get a pro card first, Ian. I'll do a 50 over at North America's next year.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, is there anything else you're praying for?
Nice weather tomorrow. Be nice day tomorrow.
No, hope the mortgage interest rates drop a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, because I got to renew in about a year and a half.
Yeah, me too.
And and health and everything for everybody, happiness.
Okay,
there we go.
Yeah, all that
all right, boys.
Shit,
Eight fucking men.
All right,
amen.
We'll talk to you guys next week.
See you guys
later, y'all.